This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. It starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. My name is Eric Nagel, and over there, having a very, very sad time in the frozen tundra of Arizona, is our pal Jordan.
Hey, everybody.
We will get into his sorrow and his woes in just a moment here. A couple of things to go over before we get everything started here. If you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us later on demand through Apple, Spotify, any of those fine places, do us a kindness, go over there and leave us a positive review. It does help out the program, and we would appreciate it and love you forever and ever and ever. And as we're doing the live show in each and every week, if you want to pop into our live rooms over on YouTube or on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel, pick one of those, go in there and like it, and be in there and hang out with us, and you can participate with the program as everything goes. Something happened with the lighting in the studio where it was not changing to where it was supposed to be.
I was going to say, it looks a little more... There it is.
That's weird. All right. Things are starting off slowly but surely.
Look, we're on before 9 o'clock.
I know.
It's okay.
Some people are like, what happened to starting at 8 o'clock Eastern? Yeah, well, we used to do that. But some people have a real job and real things to do, and we have to wait for that person to finish and get ready, and then we can do the program.
Gittles?
Yes. He's been late for about 7 months now. We're
Good
still
for
waiting
him.
for him to get here on time for the show. Has not happened yet.
Right.
It's a sad time for you out in the state of Arizona there. You want to let the listening audience in on your woes.
I mean, if you ask a lot of the Canadian community and much of the community outside of Arizona, this has been a long time coming, but for the folks here in Arizona with some skin in the game and some optimistic views, we were kind of told last week that the Arizona Coyotes will be no more, and they are moving the franchise up to Utah. Nothing was ever confirmed. Nothing was ever 100%. I think what happened is that the story leaked, and the NHL couldn't keep it under wraps. So as of last night, the last Arizona Coyotes game was played here in Arizona, and as of today, it was officially announced that the team will be relocating to Utah. They will be playing in Salt Lake City, where the basketball Utah Jazz, because Utah is known for jazz music, they will be playing at that basketball arena for a market of about 1.2 million people, which is hilarious considering the Phoenix market, if they were to place it correctly, caters to about 6.4 million.
That's like playing to Hoboken.
Yeah.
Or Jersey City or something like that.
Right. So
that is really sad.
Yeah. Well, there's a small silver lining.
That they all die in a fiery plane crash?
They all died on their way back to their home planet.
They all fall down what's the big thing in Arizona?
Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon, yes. I'm an idiot.
The
Go
Grand
ahead.
Canyon State also is known as that big thing up north.
Yeah. The big pothole in the desert.
The team is getting sent to Utah. The team is being bought out by Ryan Smith, who owns the Utah Jazz. But the name is not being retained there. They are going to be a completely new franchise, which means all the Coyotes history, none of the stats, none of the past goes with the team. They get the team, they get the players, they get their contracts, all that stuff goes up.
Sort of like when the Browns went to Baltimore and became the Ravens, right?
Correct. Okay. So what's going to happen is that Arizona, in theory, if they can get an arena built within 5 years, we get a team again. So it'll be kind of like not a new team because we retain the name, the rights, and the history, but it'll just be.
What if they just throw new paint on the current college arena that they're using? Like, look, it's a brand new arena. Can we have our team back? Do you think they'll fall for that?
That is part of the problem, is why they were saying that they needed to move the team, is that they couldn't wait for a new arena to be built and continue to play in the current ASU arena, which conveniently is called Mullet Arena, which is hilarious, which is someone's name. They just didn't name it after, the hockey haircut.
All right.
So in theory, if the current ownership, who is a terrible owner, but whatever, if he goes to this land deal in June in Phoenix, gets the land approved for the complex that he wants to build, and builds an arena within the 5 years, the team does come back. Not the team that gets sent up. Utah retains a team.
You just get
we get a new team, kind of like an expansion draft.
That IP, and then you can start over again.
So name's the same. History comes with it. Team is part of Arizona. And they kind of do it, I believe, as an expansion draft, which means, in theory, players from all over the league get chosen for this team. It's kind of like how Seattle did it and how the Las Vegas Golden Knights did it. I don't know. Seattle was okay for a year. Now they
should come back. You could be the Bad News Bears of hockey.
I hope so. Jews,
because S's, N's, and now a girl.
I'm glad you said Jews in a way, but then still wouldn't say anything else.
The others you can kind of get flagged for. Jews, even though they're having some issues right now, apparently still can fly through the censors. So
there you go.
We go with what the rules state.
So yes, I ended up watching last night's game.
Yeah.
So
our pal Chris in the chat saying we dealt with something like that here. I'm not in Long Island anymore, but on Long Island with the Islanders, they were going to move to Kansas City, but wiser heads prevailed, and they did the whole Brooklyn thing, and eventually got the new because the Nassau Coliseum was just ancient as hell and pretty decrepit, and they just were not going to do anything with it, so they got a brand new arena built for them. You and I were talking about the Islanders. I said when they moved to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, it was not built for being used as a hockey facility, and same thing with the basketball games. Even though it was built for the basketball games and to be a platform for live shows, wrestling, boxing, all those things, there's a certain portion of that arena, because of the way it's built in that land that they had allotted in Brooklyn. There's some obstructions in an area which were not ideal. So like they couldn't sell all the seats for hockey and I think for basketball because of this one area had pillars and stuff. So it's like there's no point in watching said events and paying for the money for those tickets. But they were only there for I think like 2 years, and then they moved back out to Long Island where they belong.
Right. No, I think Coyotes had the same issue when they first started out back in '96. For the first couple of years, I think all the way up until close to 2000, they were playing in what was then called America West Arena, where the Phoenix Suns played. That arena was also not built for hockey, and there were a lot of obstructed seats. There were overhangs in areas where you couldn't see the net closest to you, so you could see them scoring on one side, but you couldn't see it on the other. It was not built for that, and to have the team moved from here to go play in a similar situation in the Utah Jazz arena doesn't make sense. And I think there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we're not being told. I know Gary Bettman, as of right now when we're recording, has a conference tomorrow with the current owner of the IP now, Alex Murillo, tomorrow around 11:30 Eastern. So we'll probably get more details. Right. That's Tom Morello.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Of the Arizona Coyotes.
I don't know. I thought it was like Van Halen. You know, all those groups have a brother named Alex that also play in it. I don't know.
Right.
I would like to see, much to your dismay about your team moving to Utah, I would like to see Utah bring back an old sports tradition that they don't do anymore, and that is to have two teams with the same name in different leagues. St. Louis used to have it with the Cardinals for both a baseball and a football team. New York used to have it for baseball and the football Giants, which to this day is still weird to hear when you watch the national versions of a game where the Giants are playing, and they still say the New York Football Giants. That's about 100 years old, that term,
right?
And they're still using it. I mean, it is what it is. I would like to see them become the Utah Jazz. So there's the Utah Jazz hockey team. There's the Utah Jazz basketball team.
Right now, they have stated that they're not going to rush into a new name. So they're just going to be called
the Jazz.
The Utah hockey team. The Utah.
They're going to pull the DC thing when they switched off the Redskins.
The Utah Hockey Club.
Which, by the way, I don't care
I
about.
think it was better.
The Washington football team sounded way better than the Commanders do now. Like if you just had that,
Yeah.
the Detroit football team is playing the Washington football team. Somehow there's like beauty and simplicity there.
Right.
It's like who's your favorite? I'm a Pittsburgh football team fan. Okay, I mean Steelers legendary name, but still shortening it down to the city and then football team saves a lot of hassle.
right.
No fuss, no muss. But yeah, I would like to see them become the Jazz, and just because they're going to wait. What happens? They wait, and then it comes out that they are the Jazz. What do you do?
I don't care. I'm not supporting those damn polygamists.
You're not following your team?
No, I'm not. That's not my team. My team is the Arizona Coyotes. They're done for
Okay.
now. So, I mean, I might watch hockey. It'll sting a little bit. I know.
Wait, so how does that work? The players that are currently on the team now will
go to
become
Utah.
whatever Utah becomes? Mm-hmm. So their contracts just carry over there.
Yeah, that's what essentially they bought the contracts, they bought the players, they bought.
So
all
there's
the
no
prospects.
renegotiations. There's no putting up people up for trade
Oh, I'm sure there's
agreements.
going to be issues. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of players that maybe don't want or will say, "Hey, I want out of this area." But we'll see. I don't know. We have a lot of young guys on that team that are just happy to be playing and kind of starting off. They were rebuilding a lot of that, so we will see. There's talks that the our current AHL team down in Tucson, the Roadrunners, will be possibly moved back up to Phoenix area. I know, which is funny
on the
because
nose there, right?
we used to have back
The Coyotes
before-
and the Roadrunners.
so before we had
Who owns them? Acme. I wish they did. That'd be fantastic.
we used to have an IHL team that played in Phoenix called the Roadrunners.
Tweety
and
Birds?
It was a legacy team name, and then that went away, and we had the Firebirds for a while. Then we finally got the NHL team, so we didn't have an AHL. So when this current group bought the team, they put an AHL team down in Tucson, and they had a naming competition. What are we going to name the AHL team? And I'm just sitting there going, they're going
Pink
to name it the
Ladies.
Roadrunners. They're just going to do it the same, and they did. There's talks of moving them up to here in Tempe, which is kind of screwing Tucson. And there's a 2-year lease still left on the arena that they're playing down there. There's a lot of messes going on right now, and a lot of it's not fully fleshed out. I mean, a lot of the real story stuff broke today. It's not just rumor now; it's official. So once I know more, I'll cry some more. But yeah, I watched the last game last night. It was we ended up winning, which was nice, and we beat the Edmonton Oilers. But it was sad. It was really sad. I mean, legit, because I mean, it's not just a hockey team. It's not just it's just not just sports. A lot of it was this was something that I shared with my kids, and I grew up with. They came out my junior year of high school. So to have a team that I've adopted myself and had that I can care about and really care about. Like I understand players come and go, but the team was my team.
Right.
And to see that end this way in such a shitty fashion.
How long are you
kinda
going to
just hurts a
ramble
little
on with this? It's over. Get over it already.
sports.
They're moving on.
I know. Now it's time to care for baseball because clearly I'm not going to watch the Cardinals play. Nah, I'm not going to watch baseball.
Okay. I was going to say.
No, I'm not
he-
gonna do that.
Is he that desperate?
I'm not.
Hollywood agent Rob Stark is in the chat there saying, I haven't seen Jordan this upset since the time he watched the Old Lady Ghostbusters and claimed they stole his childhood. He still
Claimed.
does that
They
to
did.
this day. To this day, he
worst.
spits in the direction of a Melissa McCarthy ad. I don't get it. There's some other underseating hatred going on in there, but that's what he says it's about, so I'll take
just
him
don't
at his
think
word.
she's funny.
So you're wearing your hockey team jersey. Is this
I
the last day before you burn it in effigy?
No. I've spent way too much money on this team. I will continue
Move
to
back. Let me see
support-
the logo.
This is the third jersey they did this year, just Arizona. It was,
That's
all
lazy.
that branding. I have all the other, I've literally have every jersey except for I think one that came out in 99.
I have an idea.
I've got every one. Obsessive about it.
What
My
if
kids have had ones.
What if they do come back, right? And they come back with a brand new logo. And they do the coyote from the episode where Homer's tripping out on the chili peppers. Remember that one?
I would buy that in an instant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, trust me. I've got every jersey iteration except for one that they've put out. I've had the old Kachinas. I had there was one year where the third alternate jersey in black had like this jumping coyote, but it looked like almost like a cat. It's ridiculous, but I bought it. I have the purple alternate that they did a couple years ago, the orange one. Yeah. Ooh, you know what? I would actually buy that.
Right? But they make him a little bit more trippy, you know, when he kind of was dissolving at the end and his like physical form turned into like streams.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd buy that. 100%.
Good. I'll make a few calls and make it happen. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about your team. Chris in the chat saying, feel for you, dude, and all the fans there. Losing a team is bullshit in the sports world where money is literally unlimited. Yeah. Here's what I didn't know about with hockey, and you were explaining to me yesterday, that the reason that they were forcing the owner to sell. Mm-hmm. Now, we just saw that not too long ago where they forced the owner of the Redskins, what was his name, Dan Snyder? But he had a history of problems and things that were going on with the team, wouldn't change the name, all of this other stuff. And I don't think they should have changed the name, but lo and behold, they did. They wound up forcing him out. And there was enough of a paper trail that I guess they had a case to do so. For the owner of your team, as much of an asshole you're telling me this guy is, really wasn't on the scale of doing anything that could justify this, but you were telling me that the owners can vote and just vote anybody out for any reason. It didn't have to have a whole case brought upon him or a history of something like, look, this is very problematic. We need to get rid of this owner and start new or move the team or what have you. They just said, this professional team's playing in a college arena. They're not making the money at the door like our other things here. And that every team, the revenue that they get from ticket sales is split evenly with every team.
Mm-hmm, it's a revenue share.
You know, everybody's going to a Ranger game, a Devils game, maybe a Maple Leafs game, the LA Kings. You know, there's teams out there that everybody's just going to go to. And then there's teams that win multiple championships, and during the year, they still have a hard time, like the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, they don't get enough people in there until it gets closer to playoff time. But they all make an even cut off of everybody's pooled revenue from the ticket sales. Yeah. So the owners can go, you're not bringing in enough for our liking, so we're going to make you sell your team and sell it to somebody else. That seems kind of bullshit.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why the deal was structured the way it was is that he didn't want to sell. He wasn't going to sell. And he put in these things in place to say, okay, well, then I retain the name, I retain this, and if I can get this arena deal put in, we get a team back.
Right.
Most owners don't get that. So I think the NHL, despite all this craziness, is still committed to try to keep a team here. We just lose them for like 4 or 5 years, which kind of sucks. What you're talking about in the NHL is called revenue share. It basically, and this is the definition of it, it's a collaborative effort to maintain a competitive balance among franchises, irrespective of their market size. So the league's financial structure aims to promote success for all teams. So basically, everyone makes all the money because they are all pulling out of the same pot. So when you put the Coyotes in an arena that only holds 4,200 people, you're not getting the 10,000 people share like you're used to, and they get a little antsy.
Sucks. They don't really give a shit about the fans at all, but what sports league does?
No.
You know? They say, oh, we're listening to the fans, we're changing everything, and then they do a whole bunch of nonsense.
It was fun watching the game last night, hearing the entirety of the 4,200 people that showed up for the last game yelling, Salt Lake sucks. I'm like, all right. That even translate through the speakers on my TV.
It'd be great if they protest and they just brought bags of salt and then dumped it on the ice so that they couldn't play the rest of the game as protest.
Just melts.
Yeah, there's your Salt Lake. No. Enjoy it. It doesn't freeze in Utah, fuckers. And they're like, wait, no, it's indoor arena just like this one. You people are so uneducated out here. And then all of a sudden, cars are flipping over in a riot like Simpson style. They're just people who just want to destroy shit.
Unless it's on Sunday, then no one's going because Mormons.
Well, that's football day.
That's true.
Oh, I saw something in here. Chris said there's a positive. All the players can now have multiple wives.
Some already did.
Oh, good for them. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. That kind of sucks. Yeah. I feel for you. I can sympathize. Doctor Who's coming back in a month, and they took my show away from me. It's from what I knew and what I loved, and, you know, the last few seasons were atrocious. The specials, 1 out of 3 were, I'll say 1.5 out of 3 were okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the trailer for this new Doctor, it's like, I get it. He's Dr. Fabulous now, is his nickname, because he comes out of there and he's like, give me all the lovin'. And you're like, what? What? The Doctor doesn't do this namby-pamby shit. What's going on here?
Yeah, I could see how me losing something that meant something to me and my family to you not being happy with the current iteration of Doctor and Doctor Who.
It meant something to me and my family, minus my family. I'm in the same boat as you.
I don't think it's on.
They took my doctor away.
Boat. That's true. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your loss.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm in the grieving with you.
Right. So how was your week so far? Mine has been sad and upsetting.
My week has been busy between work and other work and stupid Rob Stark getting me into No Man's Sky.
I'm so happy about it.
No,
I'm
just
not so happy.
I'm not happy at all. I mean, I am, but I'm not, because here's the problem. If you weren't aware, video games can be addicting. And I was perfectly content playing my Sea of Thieves for the last 3.5 years. And I was fine. And look, I even got burnt out on it at times too. So I wouldn't play for a while, but then I'd hop back on. And there's plenty of other achievements and stuff that I can do to keep me occupied in between seasons. I think this weekend is Golden Glory weekend.
Yes,
so there's going to be amped up stuff. So I'll pop back in at times this weekend to cash in on that. But Rob had lured me into his video game van with some candy. And then as soon as I came in, slammed the door and drove off with me inside. And I've been stuck in the world, the universe, if you will, of No Man's Sky.
I was going to say, he just gave you Sea of Thieves with a much bigger ocean to play in.
I know. And there's organizing, and there's achievements, and there's upgrading, and all of the things that I didn't realize were going to be a problem have come to the surface and are now a problem. Because now I have a good ship, but I need a better ship. And then Rob has been tempting me. He's like, there's some really good ships that you have to go on these quests for. And he's sending us videos about, do your research and see. And like, now I'm aware of other things that I wasn't aware of. Like, there's too much too fast, too soon. And now I'm like, well, now I got to get that ship, or now I got to go and find this thing. Oh, wait, there's this side story. Now I got to go figure out that. Like, there's too much to do.
I was going to say, because Rob left you last night, and I jumped on for probably, I was going to say an hour and a half. We just kind of talked, and you still played much past when you and Rob were done, and we were talking about we need to get you a new ship and all this stuff, and how you organize your ships. And
well, he's already jealous of that, because I share my screen with him every now and then, because I still don't know. I'm still learning. I've only been in this game 2 weeks, and I'm still learning the ins and outs of mixing and matching stats and
where to put
crafting the right elements to make different things, and then certain things I can't make because I got to get blueprints for them, and there's a lot to do.
Finding abandoned ships on planets, what to do with that.
Or under the water, there's abandoned ships too, or anomalies under there that are trying to eat you and yelling at you like it's laughing as Peter Griffin. I wish I was recording, because I don't know what that fish was doing, but it just kept going like, I'm like, it sounded like Peter laughing as it's trying to eat me under the lake.
I missed it.
So Rob looks at my screen and he goes, you know what? I am sort of, I'm angry that I'm jealous of your layout here. Why? Because it's all nice and organized. Yeah, it was, because guess what? I wanted to finish Fallout and I didn't want to do anything too time consuming. So I just reorganized the components in my weapons, in my ship, in my cargo, in all of this stuff. And so that was driving him nuts, which, brought a little tee-hee to my step, if you will.
Yeah.
Then I find apparently what is a very rare gun. Just dumb luck. And Rob, I had no idea it was, and Rob told me, and I went and I got it. So now I realized how I'm supposed to play this game.
Spite?
It's sort of. It's sort of you're playing it. I don't have the hours that you guys into it you guys have into this game, or the understanding of a bigger picture as far as certain stories, certain missions, solo missions, things like that. You guys are still way ahead of me on that, so I'm figuring this out. But I do have the tendency in my life when I'm in situations like this where dumb luck starts to surface. And it happens to me, just like all those other weird stories I've told all my life on these shows and O&A and whatever, where these weird situations pop up because it's me. Mm-hmm. I also, in the right scenario, have the opposite effect, where I don't know what's going on, or I'm not really the best at these things, and good shit starts happening around. And that pisses everyone else off. So I think I'm in this mode right now. I'm feeling it. And I'm going to find something that's going to start pissing him off. And not in a terrible way. But I can hear him cackling and laughing right now while he's petting his dog. He's sitting there and he's going to see that one day it's like, hey, I just found this thing. Because I wander off.
You do tend to wander.
I wander off. I go and I try to explore things. I found a whole cave system. I found all these other trinkets and nonsense and stuff. I found some stuff you were looking for, these other cube things. He's like, where did you find those? I don't remember. I just was, dicking around on a planet and I found it. My goal is to accidentally find something and not really know what it is, because I won't know what it is. I don't know everything in this game. And then say, Rob, what do you think this is? And then him starting getting mad because he sees it on my screen.
You're like, have you ever seen this before?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for. That will be when I know I've played the game enough, and then I can put it down and walk away and do all of that stuff. Rob is in the chat, and he says his wandering is infuriating.
I noticed that the other day. I'm playing with you, and then I land on where you at. And I was like, okay, let's help you do something. And you're over there scanning plants.
Yep.
Scanning wildlife, looking up, just wandering. I wouldn't say on my end it's infuriating, but it is funny to watch. Just watching you move around, I know you're scanning.
Yeah.
I know you're looking through your little telescope thing. You're just trying to find everything.
Yep.
And it's you'll never find everything. And I think that's the infuriating part about it is no matter how much you do, you'll never find everything.
Correct.
So why are you putting this much time?
We found a black hole.
Yes.
And went through the black hole.
She has a name.
That's what my joke to you. I was also in a room with a bunch of Rob's friends while we were playing this, and they kept saying something about the black hole, and I wanted to say she has a name, but I don't know their mental state or their politics or just their social constructs, so that wasn't really the time and place to throw that line out there. Went through the black hole, discovered a universe nobody discovered, so that was a yay for me. Then one other time I'm with Rob and I'm looking at something and I go, how do I go and do the freeform on the universe map, right? And I hit the wrong thing and then we wound up jumping to another universe and I just went, oh shit. And then the ship just went and took off, and I didn't mean to go warping to another galaxy, but lo and behold, there I do. So there's a lot of dumb shit around me when playing with me that happens.
Because last night I'm sitting there, you're like, I found a nice peaceful planet. It's pretty. I'm walking around. There's nothing that could ever happen to me here. Holy shit. These sentinels are now attacking me. What did I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there going, I don't know.
I killed some plant that had a pearl in it, and apparently that's a no-no. So I did all of that.
It's really fun.
But there was also something with that one planet too. I figured out there's a camera mode in the game where you can start taking photos. So I took photos of that scenario. Can you tell people what? I can tell it, but I think it sounds better if you tell the story of what I said to you when I was standing in that little park looking at the planet and the rings and all that.
Oh shit!
Do you remember what I said?
No.
Okay. So I'm standing there it's like you're in a park at nighttime. The flowers are glowing, and you look up into the sky. There's a planet that it looks like Saturn, has rings coming around it, but the rings are going this way. So you look over here, and you're right in the rings almost. The planet's right next to it, and you're looking at the other planet. And I said, "This is amazing! It was a beautiful part of the game. The art was really well done." And I paused for a second, and then I said, I'm not a guy that like enjoys to go on a picnic, but I said if I was in this scenario, I probably would have set up a picnic and just sat here for a couple hours just looking at the rings of this planet.
Just wait until you start getting to the point where you just do, like, I've seen people do this on the Anomaly where they'll do the little emote sitting.
Right.
And they'll just sit, hang out, watch people walk. I can see you doing that. You'll do your little sit emote and you'll put your character down.
Yeah.
And you'll just watch the stars go by. You'll watch the sun come over the horizon. Like you're gonna find yourself being a little tourist in this universe.
Frankie Bronson's behaving in the chat. He says, "Oh no shit," because he figured out we were talking about No Man's Sky. He said, "Still have not played it since I put it down. It's a great game, but it's a game you can sink thousands of hours in."
And
yes.
Eric has this week alone.
Yes, I've seen that. I'd look over to the window, and then I would see, oh my God, it's almost like midday. It's 8:30 in the morning.
My kid's waking up.
Yeah. So that was a bad day for me. So I didn't want to do that. Chris in the chat saying, leave it to Eric to hit the wrong button and sending his shit 72 billion light years away. Kind of was funny. What was going on here. I did play with the Freeform universe map. And I just started going in one direction. I'm just like, how far can this go?
Going.
The suns change, yellow, green, purple, blue, whatever. It just keeps going. And I'm trying. So I heard one of Rob's friends talking about finding the center of the universe or the center of the whatever it was, the galaxy or something. He's like, and Rob said, why would you go there? And he goes, I don't know. I hear weird shit's going on in there. That piqued my curiosity. Now I'm looking to try to map this out. I'm like, where's the center of this whole entire map?
How many jumps do I have to do to get here?
Yeah, I know. Because after I moved 3 galaxies away, it says you out of range. So does that mean I have to go to a next galaxy, then the next galaxy, and then I have to keep manually doing it that way?
So there's 2 things. There's either you haven't upgraded your warp drive enough. So it's kind of like how everything else, where you're placing certain things in your inventory to have the ability to go further.
Okay.
You have the warp drives that get you to the different galaxies with the suns, but you don't have the distance to get further than whatever you're set at.
Okay.
So that's one thing you got to upgrade and update. And if you do it right, then you should be able to jump pretty far. If not, then yes, you're going to have to jump to however far you can go and then do the same thing. So it's like you're just jumping from point to point to point. And you got to make sure you're got enough for the gas to get there.
Okay, so I'm going to work on that because I'm going to try to go as far as insanely possible just to see what happens.
I've never actually tried.
I want to go somewhere really weird and see. I don't think with that many galaxies that they make many different things. Like I've started to notice a lot of the creatures are the same. They're just a different color.
It's what's called procedurally generated. So like there's this computer AI out there just generating new worlds and new worlds. Some of them are going to repeat. You're going to find a lot of the same kind of ecosystems. Like the last night when you're on that bubble planet, I've run into that. My favorite bit is I'll go into new galaxies, and if it hasn't been named, I'll name it something stupid, or I'll name it something like I think I did the It's Eric Nagel Galaxy a couple nights ago just as a joke.
Right.
I know Rob and I started naming things like New Bagleton. New Eric Town.
You guys weren't creative at all with some of the stuff.
No, not at all, but it's fun.
That one galaxy I renamed
Yeah.
was a real shithole of a galaxy. Like there was like 3 planets and they were all
Florence, Arizona.
Like toxic and then high sentinel activity and all that stuff.
Right.
So for you Long Island people, I just called it Wyandanch, which is a really shithole town on Long Island. So that's what I named it. So yeah. Chris in the saying others in the game as Eric's ship flies by. What the hell was that? It's gone to plaid ludicrous speed. Yes.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That's what I'm trying to do. So there's so much fun to be had with this game. I'll update you as I go forward in my adventures.
I've been naming my ships after the Simpsons characters. The one I'm flying with now is the Millhouse.
Oh, nice.
And then, I got to start doing other ones.
I got a new ship. It's not fully ready yet, but I've been building it. So
gotcha.
Not building it. Upgrading it. Yeah. Okay. It's bright yellow. It's got like streaked things behind it. Not from the engine, just like these tail kind of things with it. And I called it Sunstorm. So it looks kind of awesome. Haven't flown it yet, but I will get there. All right, let's move on. We've got other stuff to talk about here and a lot to get to, and we don't need to keep babbling with our nonsense. Where's the first piece right here? Okay, here we go. So, two stories happen in the fast food world that I wanted to talk about. One is that Red Lobster is considering bankruptcy.
It's too much all-you-can-eat shrimp.
Nobody likes. Who likes? I've eaten there once in my entire life, and it was just like eating a salt lick.
I don't.
Everything
like
was terrible.
enough.
The Cheddar Bay biscuits; those are garbage
talk
too.
about.
You can get them better at somewhere else.
That is 9 times out of 10. That is the one thing everyone always tries to sell you on Red Lobster is. Oh, have you had the Cheddar Bay biscuits?
Yeah.
No, I'm not stupid. Get over it. It's bread with cheddar.
How about the lobster? Is the lobster any good? No, it's not. Okay, that seems an odd name for the place if the lobster is not the main feature for you going there.
No, it's the Olive Garden of seafood. It's cheap. It's gross.
I think Olive Garden's better than Red Lobster. I would go to an Olive
your
Garden.
Family.
I mean, look, not in this area, because if you're going to Olive Garden, you've got a million great Italian places around here.
Right.
So why would you go there? But if I was traveling somewhere that didn't have good Italian food, if you had to go to an Olive Garden, it's not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. Red Lobster is terrible.
I used to work construction, and we were building we were doing the framing for like a shopping complex, and it was right next to a Red Lobster. Now here in Arizona, you got to get working early. So we were there, 4 or 5 in the morning doing stuff. But by the time 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hit, they're getting ready for the day.
Yeah.
And the rest of that afternoon would smell like fish all day. And it was the worst job I think I've ever had, because I'm sitting there going, I hate seafood. So you're smelling Red Lobster starting up their grills to get things going.
In the middle of the desert.
Construction. It's gross. I hate Red Lobster.
Seafood
Good
should
riddance.
not look, unless they're sparing no expense like they do in Vegas, where they bring in the seafood fresh from the coast, and then it's in essentially a frozen vault.
Yeah.
Where it can, stay preserved until it's being served. If you're in any state doesn't have a body of water, there's no reason you should be eating seafood. None. I don't care what the supermarkets have. I don't care if your local fish market has stuff delivered. There's no reason to eat seafood if you're not on the water in some way, shape, or form. Now,
see, I like shrimp, but not enough to go to a Red Lobster.
Nobody wants to go to a Red Lobster. People lie to you and they tell you that they do, but nobody wants to go to a Red Lobster. So they're filing bankruptcy. I can't wait. I would like to see this go away.
They just put their biscuits out in like the supermarkets. You can buy if you go to the frozen food section, you get the Red Lobster biscuits.
But wait, where's the one that I saw in there? Here's Trashitarian saying Cheddar Bay biscuits, but you can get recipes online. Yeah, you can get better recipes online and make them yourself. Or I'm sure there's great bakeries and stuff out there that make a version of this somewhere you could find, and then you just get it from them. So if you don't want to do the cooking, and I'm guaranteeing you it's better than what you're getting from the prepackaged mix that's at a Red Lobster. Because what you're buying in the store is probably the same exact shit that they're peddling in their so-called restaurants. Anyway, so yeah, the company is working on to restructure the company. Where's the goddamn everything's like you got to pay $2 to read the rest of this article. Nope, not happening. Okay, yeah, it cut me off. Screw it then. Red Lobster's going down the tubes in a big way, so we hope that it crashes and burns. Now, I say that to lead into this other thing here. So we've been seeing the results of forcing the minimum wage up to $20 so far in California, where that was brought into law and immediately layoffs were happening. They laid off a lot of their workforce for not just like any particular restaurant, but anything in the state of California was laying people off. And it's because, it seems like a great idea for, this wage to balance out what's going on there, but then they got to raise the prices and the cost for operations and purchases and all that other stuff, and then it doesn't mean anything anymore. You're just stuck with an inflated payroll and price structure that's not going to benefit anybody. So they let a lot of people go, and they're doing what Taco Bell and McDonald's have been doing for a while now, is that there's one register All the other registers are gone. Everything else has been replaced by vertical iPads. Just you go in there, that's all touchscreen stuff. You order your things, or they keep forcing you to the app. Sometimes they have deals that they're not like if you did 2-for-1 Big Macs, say, right? You get 2 Big Macs for $6 or $5 or something like that. They don't run those ads on TV anymore to advertise. Not like they do coupons, but they do, sales presentations and stuff. They don't do that anymore. Now they just say, oh, you can only get it if you use the app. So you got to have their app, order through the app to get all of their promotional deals and their sales deals and stuff.
Well, that's just for deals. Out here in Jack in the Box, there was this meal that you can get. It was before they put it out wide, where if you went into the Jack in the Box or you went through the drive-thru and you tried to order it, they said, we can't do that for you.
Right.
But you go on the app, you can order that meal to go pick up. And I'm like, well, why can't you just make... I'm clearly wanting it. Nope. You can only get this meal to pick up where you're currently at by going to the app and ordering it from there.
Right.
I was like, that's a lot different than, hey, there's an exclusive coupon, buy one, get one. No, this is an entire meal that you cannot access unless you order from the app itself. I've never seen any place do that. Like, this was a legit thing you can get at the store, but they can't ring it up.
Right.
Because it has to be done through the app. I'm like, okay. That was weird.
Chris in the chat here is saying one owner of a chain in California said it increased his payroll to $476,000 a year. So he not only laid a lot of people off, but he's moving the entire business to Texas now.
No. He's the owner of a chin.
Oh, I was trying to, for the audio people, I was trying to correct it. All right.
Says chin.
An owner of a chin. Jay Leno? Jay Leno's
a large chin.
Yeah.
And he's moving to Texas.
Frankie Bronson, can you believe that Subway has a $6 6-inch sandwich now? I remember the old $5 footlong promotions. Love that jingle. Yeah, the $5 footlongs were back when people still thought it was, they were bullshitted
healthy.
into thinking that it was healthy to eat at Subway. Like you would get their whatever chicken, their teriyaki chicken or sweet chili chicken with a bunch of mixed greens and their salad dressing, and it's only going to be 350 calories or whatever the nonsense is. But people don't go and get that. They dump a whole bunch of mayo or ranch and a whole bunch of other stuff on there, or some both at the same time. And then I think their worst sandwich is the tuna sandwich, where people add mayo and everything there, and it's like 1,300 calories for the tuna fish.
They're not good for you. Even the veggie sandwich is not that good.
None of Subway's good for you. And there's so many, like that was one thing in the 90s when you didn't have many sandwich places. You had them, if you had a Blimpies in the area, most places didn't. But now you got so many other places. Doesn't mean they're better. There's just other variety. The what?
Quiznos. You remember that?
They came and went. They were good for the toasted sandwiches, but they came and went. You have Jimmy John's now. You have Jersey Mike's. Still have Subway.
We have
Firehouse subs.
Here. Yeah, Firehouse. I always want to like Firehouse subs, but I never end up enjoying it. And then for the price, I might as well just go to like a Jersey Mike's or something like that. I mean, footlong subs now are like $15.
Jersey Mike's. If there's nothing else around, or if you actually feel like a sandwich like that and you don't have a good deli around, Jersey Mike's is okay. It's better than Jimmy John's and Subway's. Firehouse, I think, is above Jersey Mike's, but just find a deli. Anything you get
it's easier for you than it is for me.
Anything at a deli is going to be better than anything at those chains places. Anyway, so California, like I said, raised their minimum wage. They laid off a lot of people in the food service industry. Cost cutting. This guy with the payroll moved to Texas. All of this stuff's happening. So now, what they're starting to do, I know one of the chains is, I almost said Quiznos, is Chipotle. I forget what the other chain is here. They're redoing their kitchen area, not the cooking, but the food prep stations, and making that robotic so that they don't even need the people. Because you go into a Chipotle now, it's just a cafeteria line. It's all stainless steel. I want this, and you're at the register and they charge you for that, and you either sit down or you walk out and steal a bottle of their hot sauce on the way because nobody's looking. Now it's going to be all you put in your stuff there. It's going to be one of those automated machines. The paper bowl drops, stuff falls into it. gets sealed, moved over. You don't need people anymore here. Let me show you what this is going to look like. This will be the future of not only fast food, but I'm sure a lot of restaurants and other service industries where everything's going robotic. People are worried about AI, and rightfully they should be, but also you got to worry about the robots taking over, not like, Skynet happening, but in other walks of life, it's all robotics now, just because it's easier to maintain, and you don't have to worry about people, cutting themselves, getting injured, or trying to explain to everybody what all the other proteins are because they don't recognize the Spanish names for any of that stuff. Like, I want the pork. Oh, you want the whatever it's called. And it's like, no, I want the pork. I don't know what that means.
Carnitas.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Anyway, so let's take a look at the robots that are taking over the food industry.
The burgers at this Los Angeles fast food restaurant are classic, but the workers may be the future. Cali Express touts itself as the world's first fully autonomous restaurant.
Okay, you're gonna help me get Wally to make me a burger, is that right?
From facial recognition as you order.
I get
So
it.
go ahead and put in your
that
order.
one movie
Okay.
from 20 years ago.
So we'll do the burger with everything and some
Hold on
raw
a second.
onion, of
They're still
course.
charging $9 for that shit?
Hold on. She looks at the screen here. Pay with your face.
Ugh.
What do they do? I didn't see this the
guarantee
first
you-
time I watched this.
I guarantee you what this is that you sign up for their service, and it's like facial recognition on your phone. You walk up, you do that, it looks at your face, and it charges your card that you have on file.
I don't like that.
No, thank you.
I don't like that. I have it. I mean, it was one thing for the phone. It's the other thing. What's the thing? The flying.
You don't even do
service I use.
the Apple Pay.
Oh, not at all. I don't do the Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Clear. I have to do a retinal scan for Clear because it's a private company, but it goes through a government agency, and you gotta log in your passport and your license and all this stuff, getting clearance for Clear. When you go to the machine, it's got to do a retinal scan of you in order to prove that it's you, so that you can bypass all the TSA stuff. Now, I don't like that either, but it's a minor inconvenience and a minor step backwards that I'm willing to take in order to get through Newark and Orlando airports in 5 minutes.
So you have a new fan on the Clear side of things. So Aaron has made multiple trips to Dallas the last couple days.
Right.
And he sent me a text the other day. He goes, I am 100% all in on Clear. Got all signed up. How easy it was to get through everything. Big fan.
Yeah,
So now I think I'm
signed
going to
up
have
years
to do
ago
it.
for it.
Yeah.
And I have, let me see, I have 4 definite trips that I'm doing between now and August.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 5th one coming into fruition, and then possibly one in October as well. When you have the Clear program, you can also put your family members and stuff in there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's a very discounted add-on if they're all through. It's like Spotify, your phone bundle, anything like that.
Okay.
It's one of the few times that I concede to having the scan done because I won't do it for other things to go through the airport. Believe me, it's worth it. You see the price of Clear and you go, oh, I don't want to spend a couple $100 to have this service. It's worth it. Believe me.
It's an annual thing too, by the way.
Yeah, it's an annual
okay.
thing. So seeing this now pop up, pay with your face, I don't want to have my face on a computer
Scanned.
system that's tied to my bank account or my credit card or whatever it is, so that they can scan my face. Boom. Okay, we're going to charge your account. You don't even need to have, it's like hands-free dialing, hands-free paying, where they just scan your face. I don't want that. I'm not doing that. I'll keep the cards on me, and if I don't have my cards, then I can't buy that stuff. If I don't have the money, I don't buy stuff. So if I don't have the cards with me, I'm not buying that thing right now. I don't need to scan my fingerprints or my face or put my ass on the copy thing, and have that scanned too. I get a nice printout, but then also I get to buy my new PlayStation or something. I'm not doing all of that stuff. We'll have to look into this. I want to see what this pay with your face thing is later on. We'll figure that out. Anyway, continuing with robots in your fast food
Ignition
stuff.
as you order.
So go ahead and put in your order.
Okay. So we'll do the burger with
Going back again. Look at this. I don't like this part either. This is like what they do at the supermarkets and at Walmart and Target now. they're just recording you as you do everything.
Why were they blurring out the one guy though? Or is that the cameraman?
No, could be the cameraman.
It might be the cameraman.
That looks like a woman's arm there. I don't know. It could be
maybe
somebody.
It was another customer. Yeah. Okay, I just think it was weird that it's like, is that the program or is it that them putting it out?
Maybe they have that service like Google Google Maps does for your real estate.
Will you tell them you don't want to be put into things?
You don't want your building or establishment or house or something. Don't want it on Google Maps, Google Earth, and they go through and they blur it out forever. Like it's just done. So maybe that's what it is. I don't want to have my face shown every time I go to Target to buy stuff. I want to go through and do the opt-out thing. Okay, so every time I go in, it's like that Black Mirror episode, the Christmas special they did with John Hamm, where his punishment was that he was tuned out of the rest of society. So as everybody else is walking around and looking at their life, they just see like a slight blur that they don't even notice that he's part of the world anymore. That would be great. I could see a lot of pluses to that because you can go around and do whatever the hell you want. Nobody knows because I swear I saw a blur, but I couldn't tell.
Right.
Couldn't tell if that was a thing or not. All right. Continuing.
Order.
So go ahead and put in your order.
Okay. So we'll do the burger.
This guy looks like a
with
Dollar Tree
everything
Alton Brown.
and some raw onion, of course.
Oh, wow. Alton Brown.
To the robot chefs behind the counter, almost everything here is made by machines. The fries by a robot called Flippy.
Flippy is using his robot arm to grab a basket. He's going to bring it over here to this freezer, and we'll dispense an order of fries into it. Because a robot arm is just a robot arm, but the secret sauce here is the AI that really powers it.
And for the main course, there's the burger bot, grinding the meat fresh, forming patties, and grilling to order.
As it spins around and as it gets to the end, it'll scoop it up and it'll dump it into this bucket.
Until it starts becoming more and more aware thanks to the AI component, and then the Flippy arm goes around and starts smashing people in the face with scalding hot baskets from the fries.
Right.
And then the burger arm's coming out there and just slicing and dicing human beings, and now you've got a Soylent Green factory happening.
Here's the devil's advocate here. I've had way too many idiots making whatever they're making at these places fuck up my orders. I'm willing to let Flippy make me a burger to see how it is.
I want to see if they're going to charge me an extra 35 cents to say, hey, can I have another barbecue sauce with the kids' chicken nuggets?
And then yell at you and be mad.
Yeah, not give you I told you from the beginning, but it doesn't apply anymore now because now every place is this bad. You could tell the quality of the neighborhood that you were in based on the fast food service that you got. If they didn't, you look in your bag, you don't have a straw, you don't have napkins, they didn't give you extra, not even extra, just regular ketchup for your fries or something like that.
Anymore.
You know that's a problematic neighborhood. Now they're all fucking lazy or don't care that they're doing those jobs, which I don't blame them to an extent. And everything's super expensive and terribly prepared, and you don't get all the condiments and everything with it that made the experience fun to go to a McDonald's or to go to some place like that. All right, before the AI robots kill us all, let's
Major chains are already starting to bite into AI and automation. Wendy's experimenting with AI-powered
I've heard about this
drive-thrus.
one.
Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like?
Salad chain Sweetgreen has salads rotating through automation. Chipotle even has robots building its burrito bowls.
What would you say to people that say, listen, this is taking away jobs?
Restaurants have a really hard time finding workers, and it costs them a lot to have those workers. So you want to be very thoughtful about where you put those workers, because working the fry station is a pretty undesirable job. It's dangerous. You burn your arms.
Automation will likely eliminate some jobs. That may be inevitable. They didn't choose that.
I've never worked fast food in my
Brian
life.
Justy, who researches labor practices at UCLA, warns an all-robot kitchen
I took
may
computer
not be on the
coding in
menu
summer camp.
anytime soon.
I think there's a kind of significant smoke and mirrors trick happening here, where you get claims of full automation.
Because even at what they call the world's first
Who's going to
fully
rip apart?
autonomous restaurant,
Did you see
there's
that? Who's going to rip apart whole lettuce heads in order to put them on your burger?
Mongo is just pawn in Game of Life.
She's taking out her life frustrations, ripping that thing apart. You know, like when you used to see tough guy contests and they would rip open a phone book because they were just muscle guys.
Exactly.
This woman here just destroyed a head of lettuce as if she was squeezing her kid's head.
Noveva.
The robot helps me out a lot, and then I help the robot in turn.
She makes these burgers.
Oh, what a buddy
adding
cop movie
toppings
that would
and,
be.
of course, the bun. Something these robots haven't quite mastered yet.
All right, let's try this.
Like, they didn't put
Not
robots
bad.
in the burger,
A bite.
Karen. It's like, Jesus Christ. She acts like the meat is going to be different tasting.
That
it's
burger,
just a fucking robot.
That burger does not look that appealing.
It looks like any other burger.
No, it does. It looks like
the place
something-
doesn't look great, though.
It looks like, yeah, that is true too. But that burger looks like something so generic, and it looks like it's like cooked well done.
Yeah, it's just like a smash burger.
It's not even a smash burger. It's this thick. So it looks like something. It looks like you go to a shitty place that does hamburgers, like a Sonic.
So Frankie Bronson still behaving in some cases. Devil's advocate again. No more spit or worse in your food.
No, now you're gonna get
You're
ruptured.
gonna be like, hey, does this look like oil to you?
Yeah, ruptured oil lines, grease, cogs, things falling
Right.
apart.
Is this a spring in my French fries?
You saw the salad place had all those tubes, so the cheese backs up, so then it explodes, and now there's just shit
someone's
everywhere.
got a clean flippy. So
Right.
there's going to be at least people doing work. It's just shittier work.
And they're not the people who have to load the machines. There's still someone who has to load the machines with this stuff, and they're
the
not
flippy
paying
loader.
attention. So somehow every condiment has black olives mixed into it, and you're like, why is there a black olive in my?
I hate that.
I hate that so much.
Speaking of the Subway, that's my biggest complaint with Subway. I was like, ooh, I hate olives. Like, I won't touch anything that has olives in it. I want to get like tomatoes or condiments, and these idiots are grabbing handfuls of things and then just raking it over all the other stuff. And I'm looking at olives in every tray, and I'm like, no,
Right.
I'm good. I don't want to eat here.
It's disgusting. I hate and sandwich places do this too, where if they're a place that has the shredded lettuce, right? Not like leaf lettuce, but shredded lettuce, they'll try to put very little meat and a ton of lettuce on there to make the sandwich look full.
They bulk it up, yeah.
So whenever it's like Jersey Mike's does this. Do you want a Mike's Way? Which Mike's Way is lettuce, tomato, onion. Then I think it's the seasonings and oil and vinegar, right? And I go, yes, but no. I don't want the white onions. I love the smell of it. It makes a sub shop or a sandwich place great when you walk in and you smell the oil and vinegar and the white onions. It's just the smell that you know that you're in a decent sandwich place. I don't want the white onions on there, which is hard to say no, you don't want that because sometimes they're mixed into the lettuce. So you get like they're just pulling lettuce and there's white onions mixed in because some of the lettuce looks white and you can't tell. And so you have that problem. But when you say, yeah, just a little bit of lettuce, and then you see them go and they palm a handful of lettuce to drop down on there. A little bit of lettuce means grab a pinch, sprinkle it on there a little bit. You want more? Yes, please, a little bit. Or no, that's good enough. I hate when they do that. They put, or these places that crack open when they're trying to be gourmet sandwich places, and they just rip off a whole leaf of romaine with a giant spine, and they just slam it down onto like if you got like a chicken cutlet or something. It's like cut the spine off, put the like nobody knows how to do this shit. So when I open up my own sandwich place, which I'm going to when I retire,
how many robots you can import?
None. I'm going to pay Giddles, and then I'll just check in now and then. That's going to be my sandwich place. I'll have him run it. No, it's going to be all that kind of stuff is going to be just like we're not dealing with these people's nonsense here. People are still talking about Jersey's Mike's there. Mike's Way is the shit. From Chris, Jersey Mike's is a quality sandwich for a chain. It's mom and pop deli quality, sliced in front of you, not like Subway or worse. Yeah, we said that earlier. That it's like Firehouse is still, I think, the best out of the chains. But Jersey Mike's is above a Quiznos. Not Quiznos. Quiznos doesn't exist anymore. Jimmy John's, Subways, those kind of level places here. All right, finish.
And of course the bun, something these robots haven't quite mastered yet.
All right, let's try this. Not bad.
A bite into the future.
Not bad. She's blocking her face from eating because she probably eats very sloppy too. She's looking for a napkin to get off camera to spit that out. She doesn't think that's good. It'd be great if you're like, oh, this sucks. Is there onions on this? Like they have to do this scene like 3 or 4 different times because they keep screwing up the burger order.
That was always the bit on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives where, like Guy Fieri didn't like something. He would take one bite and then like talk about it for a minute, and then that was it. Like if he liked something, he would eat the entirety of it.
Right.
She didn't like that burger.
Just Taryn in chat. I'm spoiled in New Jersey. Don't need the chains. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in this area of stuff, there's regular places that you don't need to go to the chains if you don't need to. AZ459 in the chat saying the worst place for toppings is Moe's, which I think is a Spanish place. I've never been there. I think it's like a Quiznos. I keep saying Quiznos, like a Chipotle. Yes, that's what I meant. Says when I order nachos and ask for steak meat, they are so fucking stingy with them. Yeah, they're just terrible. Because if you're like, can I get another piece on there? Oh, that's another $2.30 or whatever.
It's going to be out of my paycheck.
Not my problem. Do your job. And what are you protecting these restaurants for anyway? If you work in these shitty places and you're sitting there and you're counting the sauce cups that you give out with the chicken nuggets or the French fries or whatever, what do you care?
Right.
It's not coming out of your paycheck for this thing. If you're saving them, I saved them so much money. Really? Every month? How much did you save? Oh, you saved about $8 worth of those sauce cups instead of giving that out. That did nothing. I know you hate your job and your life, but just don't pass the savings on to everybody else by doing this shit. Just throw a handful of ketchup in there, even if they didn't order stuff.
Just hook me up with an extra hot mustard.
Yeah.
Come on.
Who cares?
We're ready or not. Alwyn Lopez, NBC News, Los Angeles.
All right, there we go. So we were at the end of it.
I'm willing to allow some of this stuff to kind of happen. No one wants to, grill. No one wants to do all this stuff. I get it. And if you can't get people to do it, fine. It also comes down to I've had places screw up my order a lot. And that's just because people don't pay attention. If I'm putting it in a screen, that robot reads that screen. And if that robot messes it up, there's a good chance I did it wrong. So I can blame me instead of the 15-year-old pimply kid not making my burger correctly.
Right.
I don't know. I'm like, I want to see this place in action. Like, I want to see something like this in person and kind of see how it feels and what it is. If it's saving me some money, sure.
Right. Chris in the chat saying, you know what sadly closed here? Cheesley's. I've never heard of that. Grilled cheese sandwiches at the drive-thru was awesome. Comfort foods, but did not do enough business. We can't have nice things on Long Crap Island. Yeah, Long Island's terrible. Move as fast as you can. I'm glad I did.
Never had a grilled cheese sandwich chain. Like I've had like macaroni and cheese places and things like that, but a grilled cheese sandwich place would be great.
I would love it. Even if it wasn't a chain for grilled cheese sandwiches, if you just had a place that did it well, and had your standard grilled cheese, but like not super thick bread where it's a little bit of cheese.
You need Texas toast with, just grilled just right.
Throw 4 slices on there. You don't need 2 slices. Does not make a grilled cheese. Throw 4, maybe 6, depending on how big the bread is. Mm-hmm. That, and then maybe have a couple variations. I've had a grilled cheese where I think they did some sort of ham in there. I don't know if it was like a Black Forest ham or something. It wasn't like your typical regular ham. It was a tavern ham or something like that. And you put it in there and you go, that's amazing. Or you get one that's like bacon and tomato. Something simple. A couple of basic variations. People will love it.
Tomato with a good grilled cheese with a little bit of like the variety of different cheeses with thinly sliced tomato in there. Oh, man. With a good tomato soup. I would eat a good tomato soup with that.
I still have to try that. I have that Campbell's can where they mixed grilled cheese and tomato soup together.
I've never found it.
You never found it? Shit, I should have picked you some up.
That's okay.
All right. If I find it again, I'll grab you another one and throw it in the next package for you. All right. So moving on from that, what else do we have to talk about here?
Do the robot one. We want to talk about Flippy. Go to the Boston Dynamics thing. I want you to see this.
Where is that on the
list?
Right
underneath Robot Fast Food link.
Oh, okay. All right.
So remember Boston Dynamics did those robot dogs, and then eventually they became
that showed up on Black Mirror?
Yeah, and then they were like part of New York's fire department, and they're starting to do those robot dogs. And then they had the robot walking around with the big backpack, and people would like push it down, and they would run up and stuff. Boston Dynamics has retired those robots and has now officially been in development and replaced it with this robot that Eric will bring up here in a moment. And it's frightening. Like, it is annoyingly frightening. This is real footage.
Okay. We're looking at a robot laying on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And it's contorting itself to stand up. Ugh.
Nope. Don't need this in our lives. Look at that. Turns its body around. It's looking at us.
It looks like Damn, what it looks.
It almost looks like the robot in the last Lost in Space iteration.
That's what I was thinking of. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking War of the World for a moment, but yes, that's exactly what it was. The new Danger Will Robinson. What I forgot what the robot's name.
I don't think it was Robbie. Robbie was in a different thing.
But the newer version, not the Joey Lawrence one.
Whoa.
Not Joey Lawrence. Joey from Friends is what I'm thinking of.
About.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Wasn't that movie? It was the series that was on Netflix. It did like 3 seasons.
3 seasons, yeah.
Wasn't bad, actually. It was actually pretty good, despite the fact that they changed Dr. Smith to Parker Posey. The robot, it looks like the robot from the new or the latest.
So yeah, this is
Lost in Space.
This is the new thing coming to kill us.
What video game is that showing up in?
I don't know. I'm sure it'll show up somewhere. But yeah, it's
What if that's just a stunt because that's going to be in Portal 3?
I mean, that'd be fun.
That'd be fantastic, right? Yeah.
Same voice and everything.
Typical Eric throwing a fit over changing a doctor.
Taking my fair share of Molly.
Well, he's consistent.
Yeah. Why did I go into a live show? What happened here?
What'd you do?
I don't know. It went over to Keanu Thompson's show for some reason. But all right. Go check her show out if you want on YouTube.
Yes, they are definitely evolving the robotics over at Boston Dynamics. It's crazy how we went from these weird looking little dog things to this looks like, you throw some skin on there, it could be a person. It's just weird.
AZ459 in the chat. They're getting closer and closer to T1000. They are.
Well, T1000 was polymimetic metal. You got to think more like the T800, more Arnold.
It'll happen.
Exos.
Did you just give him the code?
The metal endoskeleton with a skin alloy.
Did you just give him the code for translucent aluminum? How do we know he didn't invent it? Hello, computer.
I watched that like 2 weeks ago. I was sending you pictures. You're like, wait, are you watching that? I was like, yes, I am.
And I was quoting the lines, and I wasn't even watching the movie.
So good.
All right, so robots shit is happening. Moving on. I want to talk about Detroit real quick before we get into some other things. So apparently Detroit had this whole thing where they were promoting that Detroit is in an effort to rebuild and rebrand the city. It's making strides in making the place a better place to live, to commute to, for work, for industry to come back. Their football team doing well the last couple of years has definitely been helping. And I think the NFL draft is happening in Detroit coming soon, right? Isn't the draft soon?
Very soon.
Yeah.
Like within the next couple of weeks.
So they had put out this thing that they were going to get some giant signage made for the city of Detroit, which is probably something you were going to be able to see like from an airplane, right? And they were going to put it up in a grandiose fashion on the side of I-94, a major highway that cuts through there. And it was presented looking like an iconic sign, like the Hollywood sign.
Mm-hmm.
What they got was not that. What they got was, let me see if I can make this large here for you.
I'm looking at it now.
This is what they got, and needless to say, the people of Detroit were not happy. That's what they got. Now that looks like a shitty Photoshop, but that's real.
I was going to say that looks like someone photoshopped that in.
Yeah, that's real. So that's what they got. This seafoam green kind of lettering that's not that much higher than the top of the hill that's going up next to the highway. Right? So
that is so weird. Like,
it's so terrible.
I'm trying to think about it like in terms of like how you're viewing it, because like you're driving down the street, but like that's terrible looking.
Right. So here's what happened. A fake social media rendering of a Detroit sign set expectations way too high. Detroit's sign, described as the Hollywood-style adornment along Interstate 94, has been drawing mixed reviews from the people who have seen it, but the mayor says that Mayor Mike Duggan says they have been misled by unofficial social media posts. So, whatever council that the mayor's office has for Detroit was going to make this sign. Somebody made a grandiose Photoshop and put it out there, and everyone thought this was what the sign was going to be. So everyone's voting to approve for this stuff and donations and what have you. And they're thinking they're going to get this fantastic sign. Well, the mayor's office has been saying, you've been duped by a Photoshop. We've already got the sign, and this is what the sign's going to be. We're going to put it up, and they put up the sign, and everyone hates it. So the mayor's office is saying, it's not our fault that you fell for a social media, prank with this thing here. We didn't say we were going to do all of that, but it doesn't matter when it comes to the taxpayers' money. If they thought they were getting that, doesn't matter if you said that didn't come from us. You're wrong. You're automatically wrong because you're in charge, right? So,
do you have the picture of the other one?
Do you have it?
Check in the private chat. I just put a link to a story that has it.
Okay, hold on one second.
I could see why they're pissed off that they didn't get what this picture is showing.
Oh my. Okay.
What a difference.
What a difference. Blockbuster Video. Okay, let's bring that up here so we can all take a look at it. Now, for the people listening at home, it looks like an updated version of the Hollywood sign.
Looks like the Hollywood sign.
Uh-oh. What just happened?
I don't know.
It didn't.
What did you do?
It didn't go up.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Sorry. This is
okay.
not,
It's riveting stuff.
It's riveting stuff here. It blacked out. Okay, hold
drinking
on.
too much.
I don't know what happened here. Let's try it again. Open that up. There.
I do find it funny that we were just talking about an autonomous robot that looks
There
like
it
it
is.
could kill people.
Yeah, I don't know what
And then
happened.
we go to Detroit.
It totally grayed itself out and then wouldn't load. There it is. So on the left, look at that. Look how gigantic that sign is. On the hillside of the highway, you definitely can see that anywhere from an airplane coming in. It looks very, it's very present. It's awe-inspiring, if you will. If you've walked past it, that thing's gigantic.
The more I look at this sign, the more I'm questioning if I know how to spell Detroit correctly, because that almost looks like it shouldn't be that's the way Detroit is spelled. That is so weird.
Like Detroit?
I don't know why. It just looks like that should be like not the right way to spell Detroit.
Welcome to Detroit.
It's so weird.
So the one on the left was apparently being shared with everybody, saying that this was the artist's rendition for what the city was going to do, and that wasn't the case. So they got the sign delivered. I almost said sign. The sign delivered, and people were pissed off for what they got.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
All right. Yeah, so they're saying, no, Mayor, you really don't understand social media. People don't confuse fake posts with real life. Well, yesterday I got an email from some procurement director in New Jersey demanding I fire the procurement staff because they didn't get delivered the sign that we ordered. They're circulating the fake post claiming the city of Detroit didn't deliver what it had promised. So I guess, who's Brad? Is that the mayor? I forgot his name. No, that's the mayor's Mike.
Mayor Brad.
General Services Director Brad Dick. Oh, what a horrible name. So they were saying something about, so I guess Brad will learn about being ambitious and trying to do something special, but I applaud the ambition of doing something a cut above the boring side. And I think
Brad got fired.
If he's missing.
Dead.
He's on one of the mile roads. Just
He's
wandering
buried under
around.
the T in Detroit.
What was that movie? Where
8 Mile?
No. That's what it was. No, wasn't that movie, was it called Barbarian or something? It was about the house.
Yeah, where like she did the I think it was set in Detroit.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was thinking. Wasn't it in Detroit? That's where they
Mhm.
dropped him off at some house. It's like, you're going to
Yeah.
live here now. And then there's a whole underground tunnel of mishaps happening. Anyway, so they're not happy with this. People are furious with it. People have been defacing it even. And I saw one video. People were just driving by booing at it. Which is fantastic, because what good is that going to do? But that's your right to go. And if you want to boo that sign, please go ahead and do that.
You're just sitting there, all you hear is boo.
Right. So this drew the ire of the citizens of Detroit and neighboring suburbs. So a rapper named G Mac Cash put out a music video that blew up so fast that every local news outlet was playing it, and all in detriment to the current administration in Detroit. I'm going to play this for you now. This is hilarious. This is G-Mac Cash's song called The Detroit Sign. Here it is.
Detroit! I know you fucking lying. It looks like they got these fucking letters from Toys R Us, bruh. The Detroit sign looking inflatable. Detroit!
One thing I'ma do, I'ma state the fact. This ain't the sign that we ordered, you can take it back. Now here we go, thinking we about to get some shit. Now they done order us a sign off fucking Wish. Now I was looking at this shit, I was like, dang, you probably not gonna see this shit when you on the plane. All I wanna know, how much we paid for this. How much? Real talk, man, shit, I could've made this shit. I thought our sign was gonna look like Hollywood. That's probably why they put this bitch right by the hood. Thought we was about to get some shit, they really just hold us. Then gave us a sign in Times New Roman. They put the green in the shit, they thought it was cool. Man, this some shit you would see up in front of the school. Like, goddamn, man, we should've got the other kind. Man, the city about to put in on another sign. And we just keeping it real, we ain't never hating. I think I seen a bigger sign at a graduation. Hey, man, we must've got these letters on a discount. When wind blow too hard, fuck around and knock this shit down.
So yeah, so
I loved every second of that.
Yeah, so it's like they got the discounted song at Wish, and like they have the bigger letters at graduation. This is the stuff that you put out in front of a school.
Long gone are the fights between East Coast and West Coast. I like when rappers are civically minded and are really tackling the hard issues. Like the Detroit sign looks like shit.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
The guy has some other great stuff too. I went
That's
looking
funny.
through his account, but I was laughing my ass off when he just said, like, I could have made this shit.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
So much for the poor people of
That's
Detroit.
hilarious.
Yeah. All right.
Good for them.
What else do we have here? Moving on to. Oh, I wanted to talk about this last week, but we didn't get a chance to do so because we ran long, and then we're going to get into segment 2 here. I'm going to show you the insurance thing real quick, and then I want to finish this off with introducing you to Brother Nature.
Brother Nature.
Brother Nature. You're going to want to learn about him because it's, quote Tracy Morgan, it's hilarious what I found out about this guy. Apparently, it's been well known for many, many years, too.
Okay.
Let me find I had it up here somewhere. You know what? Screw it. I don't know where it is. All right, forget the insurance drones. We'll do that another time. Apparently, insurance companies are now using drones to fly over your neighborhoods to scan your properties and readjust your policies, or even cancel your policies based on what they see without your knowing, or any kind of opportunity to fix things or make adjustments or whatever, and to be in proper standing with the policies and procedures of the insurance company. And
top of segment 1, second page.
I know. I don't have it loaded. I'm moving on from it.
Gotcha.
Just was giving you the quick up and up on it. What I do want to talk to you about is this guy named Brother Nature. Now, I don't know who this guy is. He's internet famous. Has a lot of followers on Twitter, on TikTok. Has a documentary thing that he put out on Amazon. He's apparently a guy that goes around and tries to befriend animals. I don't understand this guy. His real name is Kelvin Pena, but he's known by Brother Nature online. He's an American internet personality known for his viral videos of him befriending wild animals. He rose to prominence for interacting with a small herd of deer that visited his backyard, who he later named and referred to as collective. I love when everybody has to name their fan base with stuff.
I hate that.
So his fans are his Deer Squad. As of October 2021, he currently has over 2 million Twitter followers. Pena is the founder of a nonprofit organization called Everybody Eats Foundation. So he goes around and makes
eats Raymond.
The what?
Everybody Eats Raymond.
That's pretty funny.
That would be good.
So, looking at his video stuff here, bring up this channel here. We'll just take a quick look at it. So he's got about 78,000 subscribers on there, and I guess he just goes around and he walks with the animals, talks with the animals, thinks he's like Brother Doolittle or something. So he goes around, he's hanging out with animals. Here's him with a guy that's pretending to be an animal. Whatever. So everybody has their niche. Everybody has their thing that somehow blows up online, and they get to become rich and famous for whatever reason. Now, so I had no idea this guy existed until I saw this photo today being passed around by a bunch of different accounts. And it's him here in New York saying that
Miley
he
Cyrus?
just met Miley. I'm geeked. Ugh. And I started to see, I didn't know who this guy was. And I was reading some of the comments, and a lot of people are saying this line here. I ain't forgot. Nobody's forgot. At this point, I think y'all forgot because nobody has said he has been forgotten. So I'm trying to figure out what all this means, right? It means something because everybody's saying it, right? Mm-hmm. So I go in a bit of a deep dive trying to find out what this is. So apparently, this guy has had some controversies. Now, the second one is the most important one, which we're going to get to in a second. But the first one, in October 2018, several tweets resurfaced in which Pena was using, I've never heard this, negrophobic and anti-Semitic language. According to the date of the tweets, Pena said he was 12 years old at the time they were published. He posted a note on Twitter apologizing for his language. In his note, he stated, I apologize for my 12-year-old Kelvin and take full responsibility for my words. Everyone changes, everyone learns, everyone makes mistakes. That usually doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's like, oh, I posted that 20-something years ago. I'm a different person now. Well, it's still on their line, you saying the N-word, so we don't give a shit. You're going to lose everything you have right now. So I guess he didn't do too bad from that. Let's go a year later. 2019. In December of 2019, Pena visited Miami, Florida for a beach cleanup event. On the night of December 6th, a video surfaced on Twitter of him being violently hit and kicked in a sandwich shop as bystanders looked on. So this Twitter user, who had been pictured in a club with Pena a day earlier, tweeted, I just beat the dog shit out of Brother Nature in La Sandwicheria. I guess that's the name of the place. Though the tweet had been deleted. The attack was originally seen as unsolicited and an unsighted assault on Pena, though it was later revealed that he had been instigating restaurant staff and customers by demanding to be served as the store was closing. As he was being told that he could not be served, Pena was being filmed by a group of strangers as he did this and challenged them all to a fight when they wouldn't delete their videos. He was apparently telling the waitstaff that he was a celebrity and demanded to be served. All right. So he put out a video, his little clip saying these guys just came and started attacking me or whatever. So everyone's like, what the fuck? Why are this guy so nice? Why would you attack this guy? Well, that wasn't the case because somebody went back to the restaurant and got the closed circuit video and mixed it with his videos that he took in to show the entire storyline of what was going on with this guy. Now, we do have to preference that he's in this sandwich shop in Miami. Apparently, he was acting very full of himself, going to sit there. I'm a celebrity. They were closing down. They were cleaning up for the night. They're taking care of the remaining customers that are in there. They weren't letting anybody else in, and he was throwing a bit of an issue.
An influencer fit. I've seen this happen where it's like, the exposure I can get you, please do the thing I want you to do.
Right. So he was doing all that. I'm a celebrity. You don't treat people like this. You're going to take care of me. I don't give a fuck. That kind of stuff.
Right.
So, like I said, he posted videos where these guys just out of nowhere beat him up, and he was all upset and got the internet all upset at these guys until they posted the security footage and said, no, this is what really happened with this asshole. And then everybody turned. Again, this is 5 years ago. Wow. Everyone turned and said, holy shit, Brother Nature is an asshole and he deserved the ass whooping you're about to see. 5 years later, they're still reminding him of him being a bitch, acting, pulling the celebrity card and getting his ass handed to him. Everything he posts. I went over to his last YouTube video was 4 months ago, and some comments are slipping through. I guess they're blocking and filtering some stuff. But some were like 2 days ago, 3 days ago that they didn't catch yet, and they're in there like, we didn't forget this shit. Did that animal hand you your ass too? Like whatever is going on, this guy is just going to be haunted by acting the way he did.
Has a long memory for these kinds of things.
Right. Okay. So that being said, let's watch the video here of Brother Nature in a sandwich shop in Miami from 2019, getting his just desserts. See what I did there? So he's walking over, give me your phone. They were taping him or something. Those guys right there had their phone out, taping him while he was throwing a bit of a tantrum to the staff there that he wanted to be served and seated and what have you. These guys were taping him. So the girl, I guess, who was with him told him that they're taping you with their phones and they want to, they're going to do something with it. So he's going over there demanding, like, give me your phone so he could delete it. Imagine trying to pull that shit. Only that works where, I didn't save it. There was another video I saw where there was a guy at Target and some lady was following him around because he was walking really close to two different ladies.
I saw that video.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
So this lady's leaning down, looking at something at a bottom shelf. She's got a bit of a skirt on. He's looking at an end cap that's behind her, kind of leans down and slides his phone under her where she's squatted to record, like, if she's wearing underwear or not or whatever. Pulls the phone back, and the lady, the other lady's down the aisle, the long way aisle, and yells, "What are you doing? What? Yeah. I didn't do anything." And she started flat out yelling and saying, You shoved her phone under her dress to record her and all that. No, I didn't. Like, he's lying like crazy, but she's got the whole camera and everything going on. And finally, security from Target walks over and the lady's yelling at the security guy what this guy did. So the security guy goes, "Okay, we'll call the police." So they're calling the police and this guy doesn't know what to do, whatever. So there's always shitty people like that. If you walked over in that scenario and said, "Give me your phone, we're deleting that off your phone," that seems warranted. Even though I guess technically it is illegal, it seems socially warranted. For something like this, if you're acting like a bitch in a public place like this and you go crazy and then somebody captures you doing that and then they say, "I demand you delete that off there," fuck off. That ain't going to happen ever.
No.
And you're just going to make things worse. All right, continuing on here. So he's over there. He's demanding to see their phones and to delete this.
Do you know who I am?
So he's talking to two guys. I don't know if they're like Latino.
He's in Miami thinking he's going to get his way.
Yeah. They're Latino, they're Cuban, they're something.
That dude's already removing his jacket.
And they're already,
equivalent
that
of a
one
black
guy
taking off his fucking earrings.
That one guy there, this guy right here, looks big.
Oh, yeah.
Like he could, look, Brother Nature's not a
built
out of shape guy. Like he looks, but he looks like runner's body, kind of, very
lean.
thin, whatever, very lean. This guy looks like he can fight and throw down. He's a big dude. So that's what's going on here. So he's now, Brother Nature's walking out of there. These guys step up and they're like, "You want to do something about this?"
It's like, "Nope, I'm out." Okay.
So he's going to leave. Then he turns around. So Brother Nature's about to walk out of the restaurant. He turns around to look at these guys. And then it's going to cut to his video that he has on this, that Brother Nature recorded. He's getting his phone. These guys are sitting there shit talking to him. It's like, "What are you going to do about this? You know, you're the asshole in this situation here." So now he realizes he doesn't want to look like a bitch doing all of this stuff. He has his phone on in the camera in the corner there, right? So there we go. He's now taping these two guys with his phone. Now what you're going to see here is his version,
right,
that he put out, making it look like these guys were threatening him for no reason.
Dead man.
What he just did, you saw his hand with his shitty fake Rolex hanging off his wrist. Point at
Are you okay tonight?
No, I'm tired.
Strokes.
I'm tired. He's pointing. Well, I'm doing a lot of the talking here, so sometimes you slip up. He's pointing at one guy. He's like, "You're a dead man. You're a dead man." Turns around, and that's where the video ends. So very convenient if you look at that clip that, all right, this guy was being threatened for no reason. So now that pisses these two guys off here. But they go to sit down or clean up or whatever. Look at this. The restaurant employee here closed the door.
Yeah, he's like, "Nope, we're not
locked the door," and he's trying to open the door. Brother Nature and whoever else is with him are now trying to push back into the restaurant. This worker here is trying to keep the door shut and trying to prevent a fight from escalating. And you can see him right there. He's pushing against it like crazy. He's like, no, we're closed. You're not coming in here. So what happened was they didn't let him back in the restaurant. These two guys, I think the one guy was finishing up his meal and he threw some money down on the table, right?
Yeah, he's responsible.
They now walk out to the parking lot where Brother Nature is. And the video now picks up from here. He's punching and kicking Brother Nature in the head.
Sheesh.
So this guy is just pummeling Brother Nature, who's sitting in a parking lot. He's just sitting in a parking space right there, getting his ass handed to him.
I know there's a party.
Yeah, he's just covering his face.
He just got he's got head stomped right in the face.
Hey, come on, guys. You guys step outside. It's raining every neighborhood.
And he just walks off.
He walks off, and the other two guys go a different direction. The one guy did what he had to do. Brother Nature was down, didn't continue it, just like, all right, point made, message sent, walks away with his buddy. So Brother Nature walks off to the side. He's pointing at them with leaning to somebody over there who didn't help him, by the way. They're just standing there watching this as well. The caption says, after getting his ass whooped outside, he comes back inside to fight the friend. There's the other friend there. So now Brother Nature comes running in, swinging, and he does this shit that a lot of people who think they're tough and don't know how to fight do. They run or they swing so wide. Like
right, he telegraphs his punch.
Instead of like what they say, you know, when you square up or where you get kind of tight and compressed so that you're blocking anything that's coming in, and then you can, you know, you have ample room to fight and use your skills in fighting. They always come running and they start doing these like wrestling roundhouse kind of swings, which opens you up, and they all fall down. They all fall into a wall or into a guy that's
he
also
thought momentum was going to take that punch and make it worse. So
right.
Like, he pulls back, he swings, and he's running, like full speed running.
So he swings, tries to hit this guy, does nothing, and goes flying with the guy he was trying to hit into the wall. The other guy turns around and just starts pummeling him. Right there into the wall. And there you go again. All right, cuts back to somebody else. This is security footage. What's in color here just picks up as the other friend came back into the restaurant, and you just see again getting kicked in the face. Listen to this. Right into the face. It's not like the back of the head or the side of the head.
No, that was.
He's on his knees, kneeling down, and the foot comes right up into the face, into the eyes, into the forehead. Another kick, another kick.
Damn, he got his ass beat.
Yeah, I know he came in. Don't do it. You need to grab your
Was it?
I don't know what he threw at him. I thought it was like a basket of fries or something. But he walks back over to the counter where they were eating, picks up something.
Yeah, I know he came in.
I'm trying to see if we can see it. Is it a cup full of liquid?
It's either liquid. Keep going.
Yeah, everybody's back's facing the camera, so it's hard to see.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
All right, yeah, it's a cup full of something. He just threw a cup of liquid in his face. And that guy's got the bottle of ketchup. And he's just squeezing it in his face. Or is that a drink box? I don't know.
It looked like a juice box.
Whatever it was, he just leans over and just starts squirting it right into his eyes, into his face. And that's it.
Now he's out.
Yeah.
Man, the internet really hates him.
A few months ago,
Yeah.
Got his ass beat.
He got his ass beat. So this guy, this influencer, this internet personality had no idea who he was, posts a photo of Miley Cyrus. It goes all over the place with people shitting on him in the comments and saying, we ain't forget, you must have forgotten. I didn't know what it was, did the dive, and then I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I did this. More times than not, usually when you do a deep dive on things that just kind of pop up out of nowhere, it doesn't really have the payoff.
Right.
But watching that video, I said, yeah, I think this is something that we need to discuss on the show.
And it's always fun to watch when they try to pull this bullshit where it's like, I'm the victim, and then more footage resurfaces.
Right.
I actually found a video the other day I was watching where this guy in a Lamborghini
what's going on?
Gets rear-ended by this chick right by a gas station. So he's pulled into the gas station.
Oh, yeah, I did see this. He has the white Lamborghini from Florida?
Yeah. And he's like filming her going, you just hit me. And he goes, that's not how getting rear-ended worked. And you think like she's a psychopath and she rear-ended this guy. And then they had alternate footage.
Yeah, before you get to the alternate footage, what she's screaming at the guy who's taping her from his driver's seat is he goes, I was pulling in and you zipped in front of me and that's why I rear-ended you. So based on what she's saying, she's pulling ahead, he swung around, and that's how she hit the back of his car.
Right.
Then the alternate footage comes out.
Alternate footage comes in from like a wider angle showing this guy zipping around somebody else, sideswiping another car, going through the intersection, zipping in front of her as she's making the lane change. And she doesn't have time to stop and rear ends the guy.
Right.
So he's like, call the cops. Go ahead. I've got, all this, and this. And
he's giggling the whole time, too, because he's laughing
his ass
how
off.
Insane she is.
She's pissed.
I'm trying to find the video here, but I'm just seeing.
But it's just so funny because, like, when you see the one side of it where the guy's posting it, they're all like, she's crazy. There's no chance. Why would you, think you can rear end somebody and then blame them, blah, blah, blah. And then the other footage comes out and you're like, well, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy, like, how some people think they're in the right, and so they post this footage. Like, Brother Nature posted his version of it and made it seem like those guys were threatening, when in all accounts, this guy was instigating all kinds of shit.
It's amazing how...
Everyone's got a camera now.
Yeah, it's amazing how dumb people are when they think, oh, I'm just going to edit this footage to put it out and skew it so it makes me look good and tell my side of the story in this way. When the incidents all happen, even if it's in a private situation, there's cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a fight in a Waffle House, if it's a fight outside a gas station, if it's a fight in a department store, at school even. How many videos have we seen where people are just getting their asses pummeled because nobody in the hallway is willing to help stop these fights or help the person getting destroyed,
all the time.
And they have their phones on all the time. So the gall to think that you're going to get away with something like that by manipulating
the narrative.
Again, it's been a long day. Manipulating the clips to put it out there. It's like, this will curry my favor with the internet. It always finds out, oh, here's the extended footage. That's not the case. I can't find the car accident footage. I'll look for it for next time. I am seeing that clip of the girl that we see on Instagram all the time, who walks up on top of her Lamborghini or her Beamer and starts jumping on the hoods or the roof of the car, where she's dancing, doing some stupid TikTok dance,
making dumb faces.
Or the one where she just swings. Her name is Jelly Bean Brains.
Or I also heard Watermelon Drip is also another version of her accounts. Like she just has like 1,000 accounts out there.
So she goes up there and like she starts like hitting it with a bat and then hitting with and she would just go
the Cybertruck.
No, the Lamborghini.
Oh,
she's hitting it with a bat and she like smacks the side of it and she goes Lamborghini, and then she jumps on front of the hood and then bending the hood and she just goes Lamborghini. Like it's all these different cuts of her doing something to a car and her just saying the name in a really retarded voice. She did it with the Cybertruck thing too. She got a Cybertruck, took it to a gun range and shot the thing. And then put out a different video complaining to Tesla that the little latch to open the back door doesn't work.
Doesn't work right.
Right.
Well, no shit. You took a bat to it and then you shot it with like an AK-47.
Yeah,
she's the worst.
Just nonsense. But she shows up in all of that shit all the time because she knows what she's doing. She's doing all this stuff to get everybody mad, and then they pass the video around, and then is what it is. We don't even have time for this week in disasters. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go into segment 2. We've got not a whole lot this week because we had a bunch last week.
Slower week. Yep.
It's a slower week.
Some big stuff. But
it happens
a lot.
Yeah, we're going to go into segment 2, television, movie, streaming updates, all for you coming up next.
More. It's Eric Nagel.
It's Eric Nagel.
Next.
Jordan, it's almost here. It's almost Mother's Day. Well, actually, it's about a month away from Mother's Day, but it's close enough.
Almost around the long corner. Yes.
Yes. We'll do this show next week and we're like, oh my God, it's getting even closer. Yeah, that's what happens. That's how time works. But Mother's Day is in the not foreseeable future and or in the foreseeable future. I am really just tired tonight. Steven Singer Jewelers just announced their brand new 24-karat gold tip rose color for Mother's Day. And what do we think it is?
Oh, man. Well, let's see. We've had Malibu pink. We've had every color of the spectrum. I'm thinking something that...
Slimer green. No, that's not it.
Something that appeals to the club goers in the first scene of Blade, I would think.
Yes, it is the Blood Rain Techno Shower from Blade, or red wine, if you want to call it
red
that.
Wine.
Look at that. Ooh.
Gorgeous. Very pretty.
Very pretty. The moms in our lives put up with a lot of our shit. Sure, some of us... He didn't put that in the copy. Sure, some of us were angels, but others not so much. That he did put in the copy. Give a toast to the moms who all work very hard with Steven's brand new 24-karat gold-dipped rose in red wine. Let me put it over here. There we go. The deep, rich burgundy color rose will go perfectly with that glass of wine that she surely deserves or drinks heavily, depending on the family that you're in. Steven's famous 24-karat gold-dipped roses are real roses preserved and dipped in pure 24-karat gold. Have we said that enough? 24-karat gold, people. Guaranteed to last a lifetime. Make Mother's Day extra special this year with a gift she'll love and appreciate every single day. A luxurious red wine 24-karat gold-dipped rose for just how much? $69. Make a note. We got to pull the Bill and Ted clip for next week. So for $69. $69, dudes. There we go. Check out Steven Singer's entire collection of gold dip roses at IHateStevenSinger.com. By the way, they're also promoting their platinum and rose gold dipped roses as well.
Interesting.
This is the new color. This is the new hotness for the Mother's Day 2024 season. But they also have other colors if you missed it. And they even have a deal with Care Bears. They made a Care Bears rose. They got licensing with that. So you can go over there and get it. IHateStevenSinger.com. You get free shipping, free personalized gift message from you, and a free lifetime guarantee. That means if, say, we fall into a fallout situation and we're living in vaults 200 years later down the line, this thing will be on the surface along with the mutant-sized cockroaches that we saw, and they will outlast us all. So that is some guarantee for you. You can get it exclusively at IHateStevenSinger.com. Again, IHateStevenSinger.com. Get yourself the brand new red wine rose and tell them you heard about it on It's Eric Nagel. Thank you kindly.
It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. We're back with It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the program. Eric Jordan here with you to tell you about television, movies, streaming updates, all the stuff that's going on, and we filter out what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and you pick for yourselves whether it's worth your time or not to invest in said things. Jordan, as always, we start off segment 2. What have you been watching?
I watched the first episode of Conan O'Brien Must Go.
That just came out.
Just dropped today. I caught it. Had a little bit of a break earlier today. It's about a 45-minute episode. The first episode's in Norway.
Is it a weekly thing or is it all out?
I think it's all out.
Okay.
I didn't look further past. I just saw the first episode and I grabbed onto it and watched it. It's wonderful. It's Conan O'Brien. Like, he can't do any wrong. I think he's hilarious.
Right.
It starts off with Werner Herzog describing it. So it's like that German bleak accent, and he's like, the world is wonderful and bleak, and this it starts off so funny that it's wonderful. Like, I'm hoping they continue doing more episodes, only because I think we're only getting 4 or 5 episodes,
right?
Like, we don't get a lot. I hope they do more. So it's good. You should watch it. I've been watching Fallout. I still need to finish. I'm almost done with episode 5. I know you binged watched all of it.
I did.
We can talk about it, but yeah,
people are
really
dying.
Good. It's so good.
Spoiler.
It made me want to play the games again, so I put Fallout 4 on my Steam Deck. So I've been starting Fallout 4.
Nice. I bought that too. I haven't played it yet, but I have it.
And then the other thing I watched last night after you and I talked, I was gonna watch Fallout, and then you showed me Space Ghost. Coast to Coast was on YouTube.
Yeah,
live.
so that was a complete accidental
No
find
idea.
because you and I had just signed offline. We were done playing, and I just refreshed my YouTube page, and it was right there on the front, and it said live 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Was hilarious.
They're just doing a marathon of all the episodes, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I watched
It
one or
was
two
so
of them last night before realizing that I wasn't quite done with No Man's Sky and going back in. So, yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that.
It was like 4 a.m. your time. What are you doing with yourself?
Apparently nothing responsible.
I got to go to bed and watch an episode of Fallout, and that was 1 o'clock my time. And you're like, okay, yeah, me too. Good night. And
Fallout.
Like, what is this?
I'll just say I loved it. I've never
It's
played
so
the
good.
video game series ever, but I loved it. So much so that you talked me into going and buying. By the way, if you're a Fallout fan, if you want to play it on your PC or if you have the Stream Deck, not Stream Deck, Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, yeah.
Two similar names.
I know.
The Steam program you can go and buy video games from has all of them on sale. Like the entire franchise is on sale either individually or you can get the bundle for a reduced price. Right now, I just bought Fallout 4 because you said that was a good place to start.
It's a fun one. Like, a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's not the best one. New Vegas is the best one. I think for you, I think 4 is going to look the most up to date that you would get into it. Apparently, a lot of people were getting into Fallout 76 again. They've been putting out 15, 16 different updates since release.
I was
It
amazed the
released
servers are
terribly.
still online because that's a multiplayer game. It's not like... Is there an internal story you can play?
I don't know. I played it when it first released, hated every bit of it, and put it away.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, much like No Man's Sky, they made so many updates that people are enjoying it. So I may actually go pick up that one too.
Go jump
and
in
just
there
to see
and
how well that
test
works,
the waters with that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's been on there. Yeah, they had the whole bundle. I think it was like $22. You can get Fallout 1, 2, 3, New Vegas 4, and Fallout 76 for like $22 on Steam, and that was a pretty great deal.
Not
I spent
bad.
$10 and just got Fallout 4. Plays great on the Steam Deck.
Well,
so
you can
it's
get
fun to be
Fallout
portable.
4, the regular game, for $5.
Yeah.
You can get it with all the DLC stuff that they put out for $10. So it's worth just spending the $10 and getting everything that you missed.
Yeah. So I knew I wasn't going to go that far back, so I only grabbed what I wanted. But yeah,
So
I think that's a great idea is what they're tying things in that they sell to what's being popular. So the fact that Fallout got released and put out on Amazon Prime and it's so popular, why not put a sale out there? You're just going to generate more buzz for it.
Right.
I think it's a great idea. So I was glad I ran across it. I'm going to get back into it. It's fun.
All right. Well, I'll get to it eventually. Once No Man's Sky, I beat No Man's Sky, then I'll go over to Fallout 4. I finished the series on Amazon. You can go and watch it there. By the way, I did not pay for the extra $3 a month or whatever it is to get stuff commercial free. Here's what I did wind up have happening. Had very minor ads before the episode started. There were no interruptions during the episode.
Nope.
Of the thing. And in fact, the later episodes were being brought to you commercial free by Civil War.
I've seen that too.
It said
Peacock was doing the same kind of bit.
Yeah. So they were saying it's like brought to you commercial free after this trailer for Civil War. I don't mind that. If somebody spent the extra money, it's like, hey, you can watch this series right now. If they had to throw, usually pay for the ad-free stuff. I'm not doing it for Amazon Prime where I'm already spending, $130 just for the Prime service for shipping and all that other shit?
Yeah, it's annoying.
I'm not adding another $3 a month just to watch stuff commercial free when I don't watch much TV on Amazon to begin with.
I don't either.
But it's
I would.
very minimal interruption. It does not interrupt the episodes. It's just before the next one starts, you have an ad or two, and that's about it. So it's not that big of a trade-off.
No, I think the commercials are going to be more heavily placed in like TV shows versus these long form, like hour-long episodes of something that would have like a natural ad break. Because I've seen that when I'm going through The Office again on Peacock, where there would be an ad break. That's usually where they would throw in a commercial. So
right. Bartholomew is saying there's no beating No Man's Sky, Eric. Yeah, I know, but not with that attitude. I will do it, and then I'll go and enjoy other games. So I finished the Fallout series. What else was I watching? I thought there was something else I started watching. I'm looking on my list here quick.
Quicker.
I think I was going back to X-Men 97.
Okay.
To go back to that. I watched the new Roadhouse. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
It's a fun movie.
Look, the original Roadhouse is a shit movie, but it's a fun shit movie. Mm-hmm. It's a good bad movie, as I call it. And it's like Roadhouse is almost two different movies because it's long. But there's almost like two different movies happening by the time you're getting towards the end of the movie. This movie here, again, another long movie, stars Jake Gyllenhaal, which when you think about Jake Gyllenhaal roles, you're like, he doesn't seem like the fighting type. I stand corrected because even though it was hidden under a vast variety of Hawaiian shirts.
I was going to say, the second that shirt comes off,
I'm
starting to question myself
he's pretty ripped, and he was fighting. Conor McGregor is a terrible actor. His stupid walk that he does, even though people liked it at the UFC, like he does the swinging ape arm thing like that.
The swinging arms, and his legs are so wide. It's almost like he was chafing.
Yeah.
So like he's trying not to rub his thighs together or something.
But it was more exaggerated for this role.
Oh yeah.
He was real that. Because Vince McMahon walks out that way too, but he swings the arm and stuff like that. But he's not walking out like this. He just walks with the arm swinging like that all the time. Vince has done it forever.
Oh yeah,
is what it was. Roadhouse was not bad. I didn't hate it. I was actually enjoying some of it. There was a scene. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, I watched it the day it came out and was pleasantly surprised.
There is a scene where I was amazed, one, the editing, and two, the way they executed it, where he's just walking alone on a bridge. Mm-hmm. And off in the distance, this car's sitting there, and he sees that this car's sitting, but so he's walking a little faster. The car starts, puts the pedal to the metal, the truck, and then zooms over and just clips him, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like it was really well done. It didn't look awkward. It didn't look like he was jumping out of a like in front of a blue screen kind of thing, like a CGI kind of, even though it was a CGI sort of thing. It looked pretty damn good as fast as it went. And I was really amazed by how they pulled that off. And then there's in that scene where the truck, he's on the back of the truck. And the truck's hanging off the side of the bridge. And he slides off the truck into the water. And he's down a little bit. And as he's trying to swim up, the truck is coming down. All I was expecting is that back of the truck, that tailgate to boom, hit him right in the face under the water. And he's gone. And they made it look like that happened. But apparently he got away and he swam up and he was fine. That whole sequence I was amazed how well that was done.
I enjoyed how they set up that there was going to be some alligator bit coming where they were like, yeah, the dockmaster's dog got, taken by an alligator. And then he's like, yeah, that's why no one believes me that my dog got eaten by this alligator. And then that dude comes on his boat to try to fight him. And then he falls and then the alligator gets him. I'm like, I mean, they telegraphed it, but it was still fun to watch. Like that was just hilarious that the alligator, played a big role. I enjoyed it. I hate that I enjoyed it because I really didn't care for the first Roadhouse. And then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, it's better than I remember it.
Right.
But this was just, it's the same movie, but also really, really different because whereas you're not getting this broody, Patrick Swayze fighty guy, you're getting this quippy kind of idiot that wants to just kind of avoid fighting altogether, and then he gets pushed too far, and then he just goes and just beats the shit out of everything. It's really funny. Like I really, really, really enjoyed it.
I was surprised how much I liked it. It's not a fantastic movie, but it was very enjoyable. So go and check that out. All right, we need to move on with everything else that's we have here. Coming out right now, or out right now, if you will, for this weekend, for your viewing pleasure. Welcome to Wrexham Season 3 has started over on Hulu. That is a weekly show. If you haven't watched it, it's Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They bought a football club over in Wales, and they spent a bunch of money to rebuild the team, rebuild the what do they call it? The
club?
No, the field. It's like a racetrack or something. No, I know the pitch is the actual field, but the body of where it plays, it's like a racetrack or something like that. So it shows you a lot of takes you behind the lives of the players, the town, what this means, the economy, all of this stuff, how the rest of the league doesn't like them now because Hollywood's coming in and they just think celebrities are throwing money and they're going to abandon the team after, it's no longer useful for them. Well, here we are, season 3. They just got out of the last place league for the first time in forever. Yeah. And now they're in a higher up league. It's the league that's below the Premier League. Is if you know anything about European or British football, any of that nonsense, it's a good league to be in. And they finally made it in there. So we get to see what's going on with them in this new league. As Jordan said, over on Max, formerly HBO Max, Conan O'Brien Must Go is available there. You said 5 episodes? 6?
4.
4 episodes. Somewhere. It's a happy medium of those numbers. 4 is right there. You can go and check them out. Netflix, Rebel Moon Part 2, to the Part 1 that nobody watched or cared about.
In a Part 2, no one advertised about.
Correct. So it is available for them.
Came out.
In theaters right now. What looks like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah, Aaron went and saw it, and he said it's Guy Ritchie trying to be Quentin Tarantino doing kind of like a Kingsman movie. And I guess it's supposed to be based off like real life events about like Churchill's diaries just got opened up, and they were talking. And it talks about all the stuff they did during World War II. So this is kind of like a stylized version of what happened.
Right.
It looks fun. I'll probably catch it. But yeah, generic Guy Ritchie movie. And then
I'm going to watch it. I want to see it because I like these weird ensemble movies, even though it may not be good. The what?
I like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And then the guy from Reacher's in it too, apparently.
So I'll watch that. And then Abigail is out. What is Abigail?
Right. Abigail's that vampire girl who's a ballerina. They kidnap her to hold her ransom, and then they're stuck in the house with her. It looks like a generic vampire-y movie. Every time I've gone to the movie, they've played this trailer. I'm so tired of it that I'm happy that it's the week that it's releasing,
right?
Just so I don't have to see the trailer anymore. It's the same trailer they've played for 3 months.
All right.
It's the worst, and it's getting. Well, last I checked, it was getting like 89%, but there was only like 20 reviews. So I'm sure that's gone down, but I will be just glad that it's over and done with.
All right, moving on to the news. We have some Fallout news. Jordan, what do we have?
Fallout 2 Season 2 has been confirmed as of today. Just a week after the show premiered, Amazon confirmed that there is more live-action Fallout series coming. There are no details available other than the fact that the show has been renewed for a Season 2. They haven't put out specific numbers on how well it's been done, but they're saying that in its first 4 days, the series has become a hit with the global audience, ranking among the service's top 3 most watched titles ever and the most watched season globally. So we're getting a season 2. Very excited. I hate when they put out a show, we think it's great, and then they don't renew it. So season 2 is definitely coming, which is awesome. So now I can finish season 1 without.
I have some questions about the ending. So once you're done, come back and let me know if you know a decent amount about the franchise. I have some questions before I go exploring what the answer actually is. Okay. Moving on, we've got a bunch of people who are just been announced to be in new projects. Wednesday, season 2 for Netflix, based on the Addams Family, starring. Who? Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
As Wednesday. Steve Buscemi is now joining the cast of Wednesday for season 2. It has been his exact details are being kept under wraps, but sources say Buscemi will play the new principal of Nevermore Academy. I do enjoy Steve Buscemi. Keanu Reeves has been cast in Sonic 3 as Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't know much about the Sonic franchise. I'm guessing he's like the Wario, the evil Sonic. Okay.
He's a good antagonist. I think as far as the series goes and as far as like the games go, I think he's probably one of the more popular characters that were ever put out, next to like Tails and Knuckles.
Right.
So he's an antagonist.
All right.
It's going to be awesome.
And Pamela Anderson was announced, or Pamela Anderson, if you remember Stuttering John's audition tape on Howard Stern. Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
Is joined the Naked Gun reboot to star opposite Liam Neeson. Is she going to play the Priscilla Presley role?
I'm thinking so.
Would it be great if she plays OJ's role? Norberg. She just gets beat up all the time, thrown down a wheelchair, steps at a baseball game, something fun like that. Yeah. Who are they going to get to play OJ's role?
I don't know. Like that's... I don't know if they're even going to do that because we don't even know. Who's going to be his partner? Who's going to sit there in the car and eat 18 tons of pistachios?
They got to have somebody goofy there because they need that slapstick stuff going on while Frank's not is oblivious to everything else that's happening and making, out of context dialogue happen. You need a Norberg kind of guy that's going to go down there. Oh, you know who might be good? Only because he's good with doing physical comedy too. Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, but see, I see him as someone who's already goofy. You need someone who is known to be serious being a goofy role. Like, because you've got Liam Neeson coming in being Frank Drebin, who is aloof, which, he can do that role. He doesn't have to be overly comedic. He has to deliver lines that make sense. Like when Liam Neeson went in and was talking about, what was it? Was it Lucky Charms in Ted 2, where he was talking about cereal, and he was like, that was, him doing something funny but being serious. He can do the Frank Drebin role, I think.
Right.
You need someone to balance him out that is just not overly silly, like a Keegan-Michael Key. So you need someone a little more serious. Someone that's outside of his comfort zone.
All right. Yeah, then I have no idea.
You get the guy who was going to be Kang the Conqueror. That's going to be his big comeback.
Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, just get Jonathan Majors.
Or you get the Jonathan Majors light, the guy who played the Squire / Knight in Fallout.
Yeah, Knight Titan or Knight Titus.
Maximus from Fallout there.
That would be kind of actually funny. People are saying like, oh, if you're going to get someone to replace Kang,
should be that
Jonathan
guy.
Majors, that dude looks just like a mix
when
of...
they first showed him, I was like, oh my, I thought it was Jonathan Majors at first and go, oh, it's not. He could be Kang.
That would be, interesting.
Imagine being that. It's like you just got the job because you look like the guy they had to fire for horrible stuff. And you're like, fantastic. I'm in the Marvel Universe. I'm set for life.
Right.
Never have to worry about it. Moving on. So there's going to be a new SpongeBob movie that's coming out.
Fourth one, yeah.
The director said that there will be nudity in an animated SpongeBob movie.
That's what the audience wanted.
Who wants that? Didn't Nickelodeon just get in a lot of trouble with Quiet on the Set and everything else that's been happening? We really got to
kind of weird to put that out there.
Right? That's what I thought.
It's bad timing.
So the director, Derek Dryman, says of the upcoming animated film feature will have nudity. I'm lucky to be working with an incredible crew on the new SpongeBob movie, releasing in theaters on December 19th of 2025. And in the comments, one fan asked if SpongeBob will be naked the whole time given the title of the film. What's the title of the film? Did I miss it?
The
SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants.
Yeah.
To which Dryman responded, there will be nudity in capitals. That's not good to put in print. It's bad enough to be recorded saying it, but when you're putting it in print, there's just something terrible with that and everything else that's happening with Nickelodeon at the moment. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Transformers, the animated movie, returns to theaters. The original movie, which was the clear cut of we're killing off the old characters and bringing in the new characters for the next season because we got to restart the toy line.
We got to restock the shelves with new toys.
That movie is coming out into theaters for a limited run May 15th, May 18th, and 19th to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the franchise. Also, a new trailer just dropped for Transformers 1.
Right, I saw that.
I got knife hands. Yes, you do. Like, the dialogue's not bad. I don't know. It's a little too goofy for Transformers, but it's better than the Michael Bay shit.
He does weird stuff. I like that Brian Tyree Henry guy who's going to be playing Megatron. He's the black podcasting guy that was in the Kong movies.
He's got to be black. What's wrong with you?
the darker gentleman.
Why is he just a podcast guy?
Sorry.
Or a
Not
black
to be
guy.
confused with podcast.
Why is it going to be about podcast? I'll go the other way. Go ahead. Yes.
But yeah, he's the one that was in the new Kong franchise. So he was in that last movie you just saw and stuff like that. So
2 for
he's
2,
funny.
Jordan.
He's pretty good.
All right. So look for that. Squid Game Season 2 to premiere back half of the year. So we don't have a set date yet.
Nope.
But it is coming to Netflix sometime either during the summer or into the fall. That's the best that we know about it, that we're getting Season 2. I don't know if people are going to be excited for the second season after what the first season was. But then they had that reality show, which was garbage. Did you see that? Any of the clips?
I never watched it.
I saw clips of it. It's completely stupid. It's based on the stuff that happened in the movie, but if you got shot in the courtyard with the doll, the big mechanical doll thing that was looking at you, it's paintballs or a laser thing, and it's like, you're out now. This is just tame.
Commit to the bit. Kill him.
Your BFF Quentin Tarantino has made some news.
Yes,
he's abandoned his the movie that was supposed to be his 10th movie and final movie, The Movie Critic, and he just decided to scrap it. Said he's not doing that,
which frustrates me because he's already made 10 movies, but he's lumping Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one movie, so that's his 9th movies.
Okay,
no,
he can do what he wants. He's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Just call it what it is. You already did 10. But yeah.
I just saw this here. Cinemark theaters are being sued for allegedly shorting consumers on drinks.
Yeah.
The lawsuit filed in Texas federal court on Tuesday claims Cinemark's 24-ounce cups aren't true to size and can only be filled with a maximum of 22 ounces. Oh, my God. It claims the alleged deception is part of a systematic packaging and pricing practice.
Yep.
I would
basically theaters, like half their money comes. Half the money from ticket sales go to the studios, and they get to keep the money from the food and beverage sales. So they've been kind of redoing concessions,
right?
And a lot of people are saying that the 24-ounce cups are getting a better deal than, or the 30-ounce cups or something. But yeah, someone went in there and measured, and is like, yeah, we're not getting enough, so we're going to sue. So yeah, they're getting sued.
All right.
I think this happened with didn't that happen with Subway a couple years back, where someone was measuring the footlongs and they weren't a foot long,
mm-hmm.
So they sued Subway.
There was also things back in the day where they had like, this is what's a standard can of soda? 8 ounce?
It's like 12 ounce.
Is it a 12-ounce can of soda? Right.
I think so. Yeah.
And then they would pour it into a bottle and they said it was something else, but then they would take the bottle and the can and they would pour it into regular cups and they all equaled the same.
Yeah.
Because all
I saw
deception.
people were doing that with Starbucks cups too. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
It's all deception. If that's the case, good. Sue them. Sue them for everything they got. That's the only way the theaters really make money is the concession and those little popcorn buckets and things that they've been putting out. And
Right.
if you're going to start nickeling and diming and shortchanging people, on that,
I hate that.
That's bullshit. Then your theater company deserves to get its dick smacked by the law. I don't have a show title. That could be it, but I don't know if that's going to fly.
What was it?
Dick smacked by the law.
You can just call it Richard Smacked. We'll know what it is.
I'll see if I can figure it out. Dick smacked by the law. Talk about GTA news here for a second.
GTA, which is supposedly still a couple years off, the company that makes it, Take-Two, is laying off 550 plus people.
Yeah.
And canceling multiple projects. They're basically saying that GTA is still going to be making their deadline, but yeah, that's a huge layoff.
Some of the projects, like there's no real clear-cut layout of what they've canceled or what they're canceling, but some of the projects were rumored to be DLC stuff in additions to GTA 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 5% of their workforce.
That is never good to hear anything like that. And then you have Rockstar again involved with Microsoft, Epic, and others are being sued for using addictive psychological features in games like Minecraft, GTA 5, and Fortnite.
Yep.
A string of 6 video game addiction lawsuits have recently been filed against Microsoft, Activision Blizzard, Roblox, Epic Games, Rockstar Games, and other major game developers and publishers. The complaints, which were all submitted to the courts within the past 12 months, claim that game developers are intentionally making players addicted to their video games. We've been hearing this since the 80s. We heard
this at the beginning of the show when you're talking about No Man's Sky. Like, this is just constant.
It is addictive. They're not putting it in there to make it addictive. There's just so much to do. Your mind goes, I need to do these things.
Yeah.
It's the same as anything. Hey, this tastes delicious. I need to eat more than I'm supposed to for this. Hey, this tastes delicious. I need to drink more than I'm supposed to for this. Hey, this tastes delicious. I need to smoke more than I'm supposed to. All of these things, anything can be addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Not just video game. Well, I enjoy playing this game. Well, that's a problem. It's addictive. No, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying myself. Is it hurting anybody? Me. But other than that, it's not hurting anybody else. So as part of the motion filed this month to dismiss one of the complaints, that of an Arkansas woman and her son, the targeted developers called it an attack on the First Amendment rights of video game creators. The Arkansas woman lawsuit alleges that Roblox, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and other popular games use addictive psychological features to hook their son when he was 12 years old. Now 21 years old, you can't sue on behalf of somebody who's over 18.
No.
You can't do that. Unless you have like power of attorney or if they're like in a coma or something like that. I don't see video games doing that, putting your kid into that kind of position where you can then say, hey, I'm filing a lawsuit on his behalf. Now he's 21. He's currently spending $350 a month on games, dropped out of school, has been diagnosed with major depressive disorder and anxiety, and has experienced withdrawal symptoms such as rage, anger, and physical outbursts, according to the suit. It also alleges that the mother could not regulate her son's gaming because she feared him as a result of the outbursts. That's too muddy of a water to try to sort out.
That is your own personal issues. That is not as a whole. Like, video games can be addicting, like you said, but so can everything else.
Yeah.
So can TV.
Yep.
So can your television shows. Yeah, it's.
Maybe I could sue. Maybe I could sue and just retire. I can sue whoever makes No Man's Sky. It's like, I can't get to bed at a normal time now because I'm playing your game, and it's making me logy throughout the day. So I'm going to sue you for $11 billion.
Good luck.
That's what happens. We had mentioned earlier about SpongeBob and Quiet on the Set, which was the documentary or limited series, whatever you want to call it, that came out exposing, I guess we have to say allegedly, a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes on Nickelodeon for a bunch of the shows that they made. Well, apparently you saw at the beginning, Mark Summers was in there for a little bit talking about some stuff, and then he wasn't there for the rest of the series. So apparently Mark Summers walked off the set of the set for the interview for Quiet on the Set when they did like a bait and switch for him. And he was on Elvis Duran's show talking about it. And he said he agreed to do the interview about Nickelodeon, but was not told about that involved this docuseries about undercover toxic culture behind the children's show network and the TV shows of the late 90s and 2000s. He said, they asked me what I thought of Nickelodeon, and the first 10 to 12 seconds, from what I understand, is in the documentary is me saying all wonderful things. But they did a bait and switch on me, Mark Summers said in the interview. They ambushed me. They never told me what the documentary was really about. And so they showed me a video of something that I couldn't believe was on Nickelodeon. And I said, well, let's stop tape right here. What are we doing? Summers said when he was told the documentary was going to deal with producer Dan Schneider's behavior and the sexual abuse Drake Bell suffered at the hands of Brian Peck. Mark walked out. I left, so I got a phone call about 6 weeks ago saying, you're totally out of the show, and I went, great. They called me about 4 weeks ago and said, well, you're in it, but you're only in the first part because you talked about positive stuff about Nickelodeon. Summers said, well, what they didn't tell me and they lied to me about was the fact that they put it in that other thing where they had the camera on me, where they ambushed me. And so now we get into a whole situation about who's unethical. Summers also said he has never met Dan Schneider. His show Double Dare had ended before Schneider even arrived at the network. I've met Mark a couple of times. He's been on the show, I think, once, and could not have been a nicer guy.
I love everything he's ever done.
Everybody who's met him has also said he's like in that category with Henry Winkler. They're just a nice guy. You'll never meet a nicer guy than that. And everybody wants to be around Mark Summers because who grew up on Double Dare? Almost everybody. So really sucks, and it is a big shame that happened to him. And unfortunately, is what it is. So yeah. They also are saying that there might be another episode that was set to premiere. It was a 4-episode series, but there might be a 5th episode. Wait, did it premiere last week? Because we didn't get to this last week. Did they put the 5th episode up?
I haven't seen. I'll look while you go through that. All
right, it was supposed to be up on April 7th. This was an old news story that we were just getting to now. In fact, even more episodes might be coming after that with the directors Mary Robertson and Emma Schwartz apparently still shooting new material for future episodes. Indeed, there's much more ground to cover, with one of the biggest stars from that era, Amanda Bynes, having yet to tell her story. More actors who worked on the sets are speaking out now after seeing the documentary. Oh, so they're going to keep it going.
So the 5th episode is out now. It's called Breaking the Silence, and it deals with former Nickelodeon stars from the early 2000s, joined host Soledad O'Brien to share their reactions to the premiere of the actual docuseries. So it's like all those after show type deals. So they're going to get everybody together, talk about the show itself, and then kind of go through some of it. It's about an hour long. So it is out now.
Okay. Well, I'm writing it down now, so I'll go watch the 5th episode sometime tonight. As we are done now, we need to get out of here. We are done for the evening. I think we covered all we can. Do us a favor. Just share this with people. Audio, video, whatever. Tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends.
And he tells 2 friends.
And she tells 2 friends. And so on, and so on, and so on.
And you see what happens there. We spread the word and helps out the program. And everyone is happy. We do need to do the plugs. And as always, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
You can come check me out on my other show, I'll Watch It Later podcast, where we talk about movies we probably should have seen a long, long time ago. We also talk about current stuff and our everyday lives. We go to a lot of concerts, go into depth with all the craziness that we do. We are on YouTube, I'll Watch It Later podcast, where we do all that stuff. Watch Later Pod on Instagram. And then if you want to come say hi to me on Instagram, it's at Jinxed Ronan.
All right, thank you very much. For me and the show, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. There it is right on the bottom of the screen if you're watching. Nope, that's Jordan's thing. How dare we give him another plug? Jordan, I got to charge you for that. Yeah, there it is. It's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias. And if you want to join us each and every week as we do the program, hop into our YouTube or our Twitch rooms and you can join the program live at It's Eric Nagel. Be a part of all of that. And look, if you're listening to us on demand, do us a kindness. Go over there to Apple and Spotify. Leave us a positive review. It does help out the program, and we will be eternally grateful for that.
And if you want to do another kindness, do like iRock did tonight with the
did he do?
You want to hit that up?
Yes, you did. Oh, I missed that. All right, hold on. Where is it? There we go. Super chat from iRock. He's good for one every week. Bageling with the sex. Yes, there you go. $5 in Jordan's pocket. Fantastic. All right, we do need to get out of here. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you. Goodbye.
It's Eric Nagel.
Eric said it blows.
Oh, well, if Eric said it blows.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends, so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.